saw this on Fox 31, right? And Channel 2, whatever it is, both.
They've been out there. They've actually, there's been a news story on her, but they dropped it and they never mentioned the name of the company.
Do you know why?
They never mentioned Bentley Bath.
Because Bentley Baths advertises with them. So here's what I want to know. What did they do, the so-called problem solvers, when they went out there?
They solved no problem.
What did they go out there for?
Some footage, I guess.
I mean, did it air?
Yes, it did air somewhere.
What is it about?
I did not see it. They said it aired somewhere. I think they said like Channel 2 or something along.
Well, about what? What was the story?
Look it up. Let's look it up.
Well,
Suzanne, try to find
the story is she can't use the tub, which is evident. That's the story.
So they did a story about a woman who got the tub from one of their advertisers and called because of it.
And what happens is, by the way, Bentley hides behind HIPAA because they got paid by Medicare.
Medicaid or Medicare? Medicaid.
Medicaid.
Listen, Bentley, what a clown you are. What a phony. What a phony.
And I talked to one of his cronies over there. And I got cronies, and I got to tell you, he was no help. He was like, I like actually,
no, I liked actually clonies, because you just coined a word, clonies. A clown and a crony.
It's a cloney.
A cloney.
Well, that's what I meant. It's exactly my intentions.
And he hung up on you.
Yeah, he was great when he hung up at the end. It was sad seeing this poor woman. I mean, she has not taken a decent shower. I mean, her caregiver helps her out.
13 weeks.
Yeah, it's been a while. We spent a lot of time at her house Friday.
I would like to ask Fox why they didn't mention the name of the company. You know, they had no problems mentioning names of companies in other stories they do. When they go out and do their stings, why didn't they mention Bentley Baths? Well, you don't have to be a genius to figure it out. He advertises there.
We're going to have a great video we're putting together on this. And
now,
I think we go
that sucks.
George.
So that's the case of Bentley Baths.
Yeah.
We're going to dedicate
Hot on the Heels
this show to Bentley Baths.
And one other company.
You have to be insane to call these idiots.
Yes.
Unless you want to overpay.
Now, the one I can't wait.
Now, by the way.
Yes.
You can get walk-in tubs way cheaper.
From anywhere.
Not from anywhere. They're all expensive.
Well, we have a guy on our referral list. Mr. Dino's can do these cheaper.
Yeah. But
all about baths.
But they're even still expensive there. I think they are taking advantage of people in need with these baths. Now, I don't get into pricing. So Bentley Baths, even though they're expensive, that is not illegal. It's not even wrong.
Nor is it the issue.
If somebody wants to charge, 10 times what it's worth or whatever it is, here's the deal. If a company would come out and do this kind of business, I feel like starting a stand-up tub business just to put these charlatans out of business, just to do it at a value, because I know they can't be that much. I would love Mr. Dino to tell me straight up. Pete Scheinberg's a straight-up guy. I'd like to ask him, or maybe, you know who I like? Quality First Plumbing. I love him. I want to call my buddy over there and ask him what these would cost.
Just the cost.
He listens.
All About Baths will do them. Mr. Dean.
Howie listens. Howie at Quality First. Let's get him on the phone. Howie Metz has nothing to do with this. He has Quality First Plumbing. He's just on a referral list for many years. And I would like to ask him what this tub would cost. Then I would like to find out about what it would cost to install. And maybe what we ought to do is anyone who wants stand-up baths, we ought to put these other people out of business.
You'll never guess.
It's so easy to compete with dishonesty.
Well, easily.
And by the way, I'm not saying Bentley's dishonest. I'm saying it's easy.
Well, they're not very smart.
No, it's easy to compete with dishonesty. It's easy to compete with overpriced products. Now,
wait till you hear.
The other thing. Yes.
Wait till you hear whose fault it is now that Springs Auto and Truck Service Center destroyed an engine.
I can't believe that the owner of Springs Auto and Truck Center...
It's my fault, by the way.
I cannot believe that they would allow this to go on. We'll talk about that. Plus, Gabe wants to talk about a friend being scammed. Christy wants to ask about selling property. part of her property to a neighbor. We have a couple lines open. Here's the number, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255, and also 303-MARTINO.
This report is brought to you by Way to Go.
If you've got somewhere to go in town, now's a good time to head on.
Yeah, that was pretty sad seeing her though. But she didn't. I mean, the workmanship for like the ramp is so-so.
C-minus.
But it's an old house. But I bet it passed.
But you know what they said?
No, I don't want to pile it up if he did a good job.
Well, no, I definitely won't say the contractor did a good job.
But she said if she went out on a gurney, they couldn't get down the ramp.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't know if they could get her on a gurney. No, I'm being serious.
So you forgot to tell Tom. She said George personally came out there
A couple times.
to talk to her about before the bath was even installed.
Going to work, going home, going
So George, according to her, knew all about it.
Smarter commute. Let's go avoid traffic and reduce the number of cars.
Ah,
Let's go find a carpool, vanpool, bike, rail, or bus route. Let's go map a fresh commute.
Ah!
It's up in every morning.
What?
It's up.
Yeah, I'm watching it.
Everything's
What was
good. I just had to reload it twice.
Tom, Howie doesn't install those. They just do the plumbing on them.
I know he doesn't. I'm not asking him if he installs them. I'm asking him for his opinion on what they cost if we bought it direct from the factory.
Okay.
I mean, I just want his help. I'm not even trying to say he does them. I want an independent expert to come on and give us an idea of what they would cost.
Okay.
It is to our physical health to exercise. Our bodies crave movement. Taking a walk, going to your favorite.
It's a way to help him and also just get an expert on it.
Ways to keep us healthy and active. But if you suffer from ankle or foot pain, you're probably shying away from these activities and missing out on all the things you love to do. The experts at Swedish Medical Center understand your feet and ankles. They're having a free seminar called Move, where you'll learn how to care for your musculoskeletal system so you can move now and later.
It is amazing they sold her that tub, though. No matter how you look at it.
And they had to cut the wall out, 2 walls out to get it in.
Yeah, it's huge. Who cares about that, though?
No, but that would have been cheaper and easier for everybody.
If they did what?
They just would have put the shower.
Yeah.
The correct thing.
Really, all she needed was a roll-in shower in that bathroom.
With a seat.
With a big glass door, a big plastic door.
Or even a curtain, just for her to get in
And a
there.
bench.
With a bench.
I feel bad for her, man. I mean, she got okey-doked on a tub.
Whether you're refinancing your
I was hoping she was using her Green Acres money now.
My God. I think we all had the exact same thoughts when that happened. That was like, don't say. No, that's it, okay. I didn't hear that. I didn't hear it. This is not a nightmare. It was good though, because that was it. She was done, right? That was it.
Suzanne was getting a little upset, I think, being in there.
Oh,
Suzanne was kind of,
she was there?
smelled, yeah.
What was she doing there?
We took the same vehicle.
It was a crew.
We took the same vehicle.
NMLS 298191. Regulated by DORA, equal credit lender. You're a parent, a teacher, a coach, a mentor, or all of the above. And that means you know things. In fact, you know about a lot of things, including things like marijuana. Because whether you've never used it, used to use it, still use it, or never inhale, you know things. So what things are you telling your kids? Because even if they're not hearing things from you about marijuana, they're still hearing things. But of all the voices saying all the things, yours can be the one that matters most. Because you're a parent, a teacher.
There's no doubt Bentley went in there to make
And
money.
your kids center starts with you.
Yeah, but he could have sold her a bigger tub and still made probably as much money. Or do you think
You know
that's
what?
like the Cadillac of the tub?
No, they might not have a tub with a bigger door like that. That was a short, that wasn't a big long tub either. You know, that tub was only like this long.
Oh, it's tiny. I would say even if she got in, it's too thin for her to even sit in, wouldn't you?
Yeah. And then remember, there's an 8.5-inch step to get in there.
Yeah, I know. And she can't walk on the 1 foot. But still, the real story is just A and B.
Well, it was just the wrong thing. Holy.
$1,000 now.
But with George, if that's true, if George was actually there, and she said that he was there a couple times. And your buddy was Troy. That's the guy that hung up on you.
Who?
Troy. The guy that hung up on you.
Troy, that's right. How about when she says, is he yours here? He's not here.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. On my referral list for many, many years, Howie Metz, Quality First Plumbing. I just want to talk to him. He doesn't do these tubs. He does, of course, general plumbing of all kinds. And Howie, I know you don't do these, specifically, but I want to ask you a couple things about these. And I know that you and I have had this discussion for years on pricing, and you're one of the guys who believes that there are a lot of overpriced things out there, and that's one of the things you tried to fight. I know that. We've talked about it. Right. You call it unnecessarily high pricing in some cases. Now, in other cases, of course, Howie, we know that it takes a certain amount of money to do business. I mean, you can't compete with a guy out of the trunk of his car who doesn't have insurance and licensing and all that, right? But at the same time, there's a point at which people get ridiculous with pricing. So somewhere in between's the truth. So I just wanted to ask you, and again, I'm not asking you to comment on whether it's right or wrong, but just in general, these walk-in tubs I've seen, you won't get one cheaper. If you go through these walk-in tub companies, you won't get one cheaper than 15 grand, and most of them top out at around 18 to 20 grand. Okay?
Okay.
It's my belief they're sadly overpriced because they take advantage of the elderly, and a lot of times Medicare or Medicaid pays part of the bill. Now,
That's right.
Now, it's a bathtub, Howie. Now, it might be a little more complicated than a regular bathtub, but if you're looking at converting a tub, I'm asking because of your experience, not because you do it, but if you're looking at converting that to a stand-up tub, you've seen enough stand-up tubs, how can that be 18 to 20 grand? I just need to know what you think about realistic job. How much would that tub, do you think, range from manufacturers? Do you have any idea?
I really don't have any idea. I work with a company out of Colorado Springs called Wellness Walk-In Tubs, and their primary focus is, the market is generally for disabled or mostly elderly, and they make the arrangements with Medicaid, and they contract us
to do the plumbing.
Install them. Right. The installation takes about 2 hours. They're generally not very complicated, but what has to be done is, when you say $18,000, are you referring to just the fixture itself?
No. I'm talking about if an elderly person,
tear out the old.
If an elderly person contracts with, like, a Bentley bath or somebody, that would be that would be to tear out the old one and put this in its place.
That's right. And what we found is they remove, let's say it's a standard 5-foot bathtub. They remove that bathtub and the surround, whether it be tile or whatever the walls are, and these units could be installed as a kit. So, kind of like what Dino's does.
Yeah.
They remove the whole old situation and install new walls, and they set the new fixture in place. Because it is pretty much a specialty item, I mean, these tubs are a little bit sophisticated, because you've got to remember that when someone's using them, the water rises above the doorway. So they have to be properly set and properly sealed in case someone tries to open
but
the
I'll
door
venture to say, from what I can see on the internet, pricing from manufacturers,
They're 25 to 4 grand for what this woman's got.
Hold on. No. To buy that tub, the tub
I'm looking at Home Depot for $2,400.
No, well, I'm telling you, a plumber from a manufacturer can get them from $1,500 to $2,000.
Wholesale, sure.
$1,500. Huh?
Using regular scales like I would use when I come up with a formulation for doing a project like this, let's just use round numbers and say the tub costs $2,000.
Yeah.
If I provide the tub, I mark it up approximately 35 to 45%, and then I charge for the labor to install it. I cannot see how a $2,000 wholesale fixture could end up being
double the price of the tub and bring it up to $4 grand, and then installation. I mean,
installation $1,500 on the real high end. You know, so you're at $5,500, and then you've got $300 for a permit, let's say, depending on the city. I don't know how you can get to 15 grand.
and again, I am not, I'm not telling people what they should. I never get into pricing with people if they do a good quality job. And this one has nothing to do with pricing as much as it does. It's just a side note. I think that this industry is sadly overpriced.
It's also a specialty industry. There are so few choices, and those few choices are so overwhelmed with requests that it becomes a supply and demand thing.
Do you think it's a big market?
It is. It's a huge market.
Then I think, Howie, I don't know, man. You should get in the business. Why don't you do stuff like this when you see a need like that? Are you getting old and you want to slow down?
No, that's not the reason I don't do it. The reason that I don't do it is mostly because of the red tape that's involved with most of the consumers that want these. If they're elderly or disabled, they have to go through all the paperwork. I'm dealing with a gentleman now that's trying to go through it with the VA, and he jokingly tells me how quickly the VA is going to help him get this walk-in tub when we know it's going to be 12 to 18 months before he gets this device installed.
You know something? I never thought of that. You got to put some headache money in there. So if we had, $2,000 for the tub, $1,500 for installation, $300 for the permit, and then that's just dead cost, $3,800. But even if you doubled $3,800, you're coming up to $8,000.
Then double it one more time.
No. Now you're up to
$8,000 with that. Even
now
with
that's doubling.
Paying an administrative person to do the paperwork, follow up with Medicare, Medicaid, VA, whatever the authority is.
Yeah, there's got to be a lot of paperwork.
Let's say another $500 for that.
Okay.
Okay, so now we're up to 20, 35, 30, 35, $4,000, $4,300. So if you doubled 4,300, doubled it. I mean, at double all your expenses times 2, now you're looking at $8,600. $8,600 would give you 100% profit, double Keystone on everything, on the tub, on the labor, on the permit, and on the bookwork. That's if it takes somebody $500 to do all that bookwork. If you doubled it, you're up to $8,600, and Bentley charged this woman around $16,000.
I don't know how they justify that unless they can show you.
Well, because he's a senior advocate.
The price doesn't. It just doesn't bother me like it's killing you on this. I don't know.
No.
First
You're
of all,
right.
it's Medicaid.
I want to make it clear.
It's horrible.
That's why they're doing it, Howie, because Medicaid will pay it.
They'll pay it. It's like, the VA charges a lot. I mean, whatever.
No
back to the
question.
taxpayers.
The system is definitely broken, and when that situation exists, you always are going to find those, let's call them rodents, that are going to find their way to beat the system and take advantage of someone. I mean, how many people do we deal with that are making the choice to buy medicine or pay their electric bill?
Yeah.
$18,000 for a bathtub? I would love to see how that breaks down.
Yeah, well, thank you. Howie Metz is with Quality First Plumbing and Heating, 303-916-6226. Now, Howie, it says, did I say that right? Quality First Plumbing. Do you also do heating?
Oh, yeah.
The boiler part, right? Or do you do regular furnaces as well?
Furnace, air conditioning, boilers.
Okay, cool.
Yes,
thank you, Howie. Quality First, 303-916-6226 on my referral list for many years. Now, here's the thing. I don't pit one company against another. I'm just saying in general the industry, not just Bentley Baths, the industry is overpriced, sadly. Now, again, this complaint is not about the price. This complaint with this woman is that it was simply inappropriate. You should not sell a product inappropriate. Now, inappropriately, okay? And this was done that way. This woman is simply too big to fit into this tub, and she couldn't make that choice. She doesn't know. She just hears about these walk-in tubs, and she figures, okay, I'm going to get one. I think it would be incumbent upon them to say, ma'am, this is not going to fit you.
Well, I asked the guy that question point blank, and, well, we have nothing to do with that. That's all the state.
Why does he keep saying that?
I don't know.
The problem is they won't address it. They made a quick sale. They made a crap load of money, and they're just going to stand behind that.
And this poor woman has a tub. She can't use it all.
Now, we got a lot more to talk about. Hold on, please. Please, I will get to all of you, I promise, right after this.
Mark,
Sir!
these prices, by the way, the ones you're looking at, they're 5-foot tubs for $2,800 with whirlpools and spas.
I
and all
know,
that.
the one at Home Depot's a
No.
whirlpool.
Yeah, that's all of that.
Hers is not a whirlpool.
I'm not kidding you. I want to go into the walk-in tub business. I swear to God. I want to do it. I'm not kidding. I want to do it. Anybody listening, I need a plumber. I want to do walk-in tubs from beginning to end.
Now and later for an overall healthier life.
I'll advertise it myself.
Medicaid.
We got to find a supplier.
There's a million of them.
Expert on foot and ankle. She'll share medical advice.
Alibaba, man, we'll buy them by the container.
I'm not kidding you, Mark. I want to do this right now. Walk-in tubs. If it's a huge market, people are getting ripped off. We could give them a deal. No one can compete with us because they're lying, cheating mothers. Mark, think about it. It's a
You know how much they are if you buy them by the container?
what?
You'll shit.
What?
$400 to $500.
Walk-in tub. What is the quality?
I'm staring at them right here.
How many think we should do this?
Check it out.
The hardcore people are listening online. You know what I'm talking about. But I want to make sure they're good quality.
$400.
Where's this Ollie?
500 to
Mark,
700.
I don't know if I want to deal with them, do we?
Where do you think you think they're being made right here? Where do you think they're coming from right now?
How do we know about the quality? Would you look into it?
Well, you just look. Yeah, you can buy these, but you gotta buy a container.
I'll buy a container. How much would they be? I'm not kidding. I want to do it. How much would a container be?
Look at this one.
I'm going to buy a container and hire people to do it.
That's pretty nice looking one. That looks like hers.
How much is a container?
I don't know how many's in there.
Can you get us a contact? Let's do it.
Well, I just sign in and request it.
Her tub, even an older person who's not in
Can
a
we
walker
store the
would have a
container at your
hard-
house of tubs?
Mark, I'm not kidding.
I know you're not kidding.
But even an older person couldn't use that tub. I mean, that's not that easy to get into that door.
I need a plumber. I'm going to do it right here on the air. I'm going to get in the business. I need a plumber who can do installations. Now, is any contracting? What do you have to contract or what? What do you do? Or can we? We don't want to use a lot of water. So, Mark, was this smaller than a regular tub that they had to put walls up on each side?
No.
Or does it go in the same spot?
It goes in this one went in the same spot.
So they're 5 foot? What is the
4 foot,
standard tub?
5 foot. I'm sure it's a 5 foot
Call
tub, but
Courtney
it was
Pierce.
4
Call
foot.
Courtney Pierce. I want to get him on the air.
Plus the water.
Don't tell him what I'm calling about. He'll like it.
Pain in your low back, neck, shoulders, hips.
Here's the biggest part. We're going to have to get approved by the state to take the Medicaid. There's your biggest part.
What?
I don't know. I'm sure you got to jump through that hoop, whatever it is.
It's going to be a fifth of the cost. They won't even need Medicaid in most cases. But
That's
what
where
do you
all
have to
these-
do to be approved? What do you have to do?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, guess what? I'll do it. I'm going to do it.
Dan will be
I'm
our
not
front
talking
man.
anymore.
They shoved me around to 4 different agencies when I was calling.
Call 888-628.
Oh,
Here's the thing.
To register for one of the upcoming
It just has to be prescribed by a doctor saying it's a necessity.
PForPain.com.
I don't think it's as hard as you think, Mark.
This is physical, orthopedic. Physical.
I want to make sure the appliance can be approved.
That's 888-628-18.
Yep, that's true. What do they have to have in them? I don't know.
Are you over 50? Here's another. Will you be able to afford a 30-year retirement? Hi, it's Pat Woodard for Hanson McLean Advisors. And if
Like say, even an older person that wasn't a walker have a hard time getting into this tub.
alone, the thing I know some
I have one of those walk-in tub installers on line 4. He had comments. I'm going to get Courtney Pierce for you.
shops in Cherry Creek, Broomfield, Highlands Ranch, and Colorado Springs.
We got to get that video ready for them.
Can I afford to retire?
Maybe we do go find old George. You know, it's so funny at the beginning. She asks for George. She goes, "Oh, who's calling?"
And a whole lot.
She gives her name. He goes, "Oh, he's not here today. And he's not going to be here next week." It was so evident.
Say that a Hanson McLean workshop helped them better prepare for retirement. Now,
George.
I want to see what the top of the line one is. Oh, here's one that's got a full shower.
Reserve a spot online at HansonMcLean.com.
This had a shower apparatus there.
Yeah, but this one actually would, not only is it a tub, but it's also a walk-in shower. It goes all the way up.
Oh, okay.
Instead of thousands. Go to helixsafe.com, answer a few simple questions, and they'll build you a map.
Geez, where would you put a container of these?
I went and did it, went to the website, got our Helix map.
The good part about Denver is they can drop it right on the rail, come right from California and drop it right off in Denver.
Talk radio. Get $50 towards your new mattress.
So you just gotta get a semi to help haul it somewhere.
Yeah, then you grab your container and you go plop it somewhere.
Go to advancedbacksolutions.com. Whatever happens,
Here's a double bath.
you'll hear all about it this afternoon with Michael Brown.
You and her could fit in this one.
That's right, you were supposed to go give her a sponge bath today.
Poor woman. Bentley bath.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino. Folks, I'm going to tell you something. You're going to watch me on the air launch a business and do it and execute it. I have seen a need, I've seen a ripoff, and I'm going to change it. Walk-in tubs have gone for $15,000 or more. $15,000 or more. When you can buy them, if you buy enough of them for $500 to $1,000, you can install them for $1,500 all day long, even with permitting and everything, for the very best, marking up everything. The cost is $4,300. If you doubled it, it's $8,000. These people have been selling for $15,000 and more. I am not kidding. I am tired of it. I have the knowledge and I have the money, and I'm going to start a walk-in tub business for the elderly, and it's going to be drastically underpriced, drastically to a point where the other people cannot compete, because it's going to knock their socks off. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to help thousands and thousands of elderly people. Now, I want to talk to Courtney Pierce for a second. The reason I'm talking to him, he's the owner of Buy and Build, and Courtney has ruffled a lot of feathers, including even the big box stores, because he buys stuff like vessel sinks for pennies and sells them like for. There was an $80 vessel sink I saw at his place one time. I think we bought it. That if you went to a plumbing warehouse, supply house, it was $700 or $600. I mean retail. It's just unbelievable, Courtney. Unbelievable. You see this all day long. So I'm going to ask you: do you think we can buy a container of walk-in tubs?
Yes, I do.
I want to go into business, and I can't think of a better guy. No, I'm serious, Courtney. A good quality walk-in tubs.
I don't think that would be a problem. In fact, I do have a couple manufacturers actually have already sent me some information on them.
Okay, so if we can get Buy and Build to get these tubs at great prices, even with a healthy markup, you'd be great. I know you will, because you just heard what they go for on the market right now, $15,000 and up. Can you believe that?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
They're billing insurance companies.
That's right. They're billing Medicaid, and they're getting away with it, but I'm going to stop it. So we get a container through you guys, and that's half the battle right there. You probably have contacts in China, right?
I absolutely do.
See, he's done all the homework, Mark. We don't have to reinvent the wheel.
No, of course not. But here, Medicaid's going to pay what Medicaid pays on these. I don't think we can simply say we're selling A, B, and C, and we're only going to charge $5,000. They're going to pay us a $15,000. I think that's how it works.
No, I'm not going to charge that much. And a lot of elderly, a lot of people have to pay. They're not all paid by Medicaid. I don't know if Courtney knows that or not, but I don't think they're all paid by Medicaid. But Courtney, I just wanted to ask you, and I knew you would say that, because you pretty much have a handle on anything there is, right?
Absolutely.
Why haven't you ever purchased any of those? It's a big market, I hear.
To be perfectly honest with you, it's a space issue for me. They take up a lot of airspace, each tub, because they come assembled already, and I don't have a whole bunch of room in my warehouse.
Okay, so we'd have to find a place, but that's going to be minor. But thank you, Courtney. And by the way, Buy and Build, anything new? Did you get anything new in lately?
We have a brand new color of cabinets. We've got this new color gray stone that's very popular now. We got these gray shakers that people are going crazy over them. We've already sold about 10 kitchens.
Unbelievable. And what's the price point?
They're priced with the Elite line cabinets. They have the soft close hinges and the soft close drawer glides, similar to what you put in.
Yeah.
And really nice dark gray, and you can see the wood grain through the gray, so it's not a painted gray. It's
so
really
for a,
nice,
for a standard sized kitchen with all the frills, what are you looking at for those things?
Probably about $2,500 to $3,000.
Think about that. You know what you pay for cabinets? For under $5,000, Courtney, I'm almost positive you can do almost any kitchen with the best cabinets. I have them. They're so inexpensive. People say, Tom, why would you put a cabinet like that in your garage? I said, because I got it from Courtney, and they're cheaper than garage cabinets at Home Depot. Anyway, Courtney Pierce, buy and build, 303-295-6022. Okay, Douglas is an installer. I'm going to get to all of you. Please be patient. Douglas, you say that you've installed tubs?
Yes, I've installed walk-in tubs for the past 7 years. I've done it California, Colorado, Utah, New Mexico, Arizona.
Do you think it's a huge inflated market?
It's pretty ridiculous how expensive, like what they charge these people, and the people we install them for, the people that built this country. You know what I mean? They're the veterans. They're
right.
The people from the steel industries.
So who's paying the freight? Is it Medicaid and VA and all of that?
Some of them are financed through those companies. A lot of them
are self-pay, right?
Yeah, they're doing like reverse mortgages to be able to finance.
No way.
This tub, yeah.
Now
it's
listen.
Ridiculous. And it's not even like everything's worked out.
Who are you working for? Who are you working for now? Don't tell me. I mean, are you working now? I mean.
Yes.
Are you doing the same business?
Yes.
Okay. And do you work as an independent contractor?
Yes.
So I'd be able to hire you to install tubs.
Oh, of course.
Okay. Now, what's involved? Are they made so they pretty much fit where the other tub is? I mean, obviously, there's probably some work you have to do, trim.
Yes and no. A lot of them come in 3 different sizes. A large size, which is for putting in a brand new home when it's just studs up. And then you have a smaller one that goes into a shower enclosure that is not quite as large as a regular bathtub. And then you have the standard size of the bathtub. But, I mean, you have to take out door jambs. Sometimes you have to take out the drywall down the hallway because they did.
Now, if you were charging me directly, and I pay you when the job is done, no questions asked, no 30 days, just when it's done, can you give me a range of the most inexpensive install to the most expensive install? Give me a range. If I was paying, I'm talking about just you, or if you have to hire people.
Just to pay me
just you, and I pay you straight up when the job is done.
For the cheapest, if everything went according to plan, I could probably do it for $850.
Okay. What's an average? No, he's going to tell me. Tell me the most expensive first.
Most expensive, if you have to redo tile and put up new walls and stuff like that, I would say maybe $2,700, and that's with like real fancy stuff.
And that's rare?
That's rare, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So even at those prices, Douglas, you've seen the guys. They're charging. What installs have you seen as far as pricing?
The most expensive install I've ever seen was in California. It was $22,000. The most inexpensive I've ever seen is $11,500.
Yeah, 11. Think about it. We'd get filthy rich if we charged 11.
And that one, that wasn't even an install. I mean, I literally just pulled up, dropped the tub off, unboxed it, showed the guy where the water hookups are, and then left.
But what I'm asking you, Douglas, is do you see an opportunity there if we did a company and simply did it for the good of mankind and we put a small profit on it just to keep things going?
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, it's unreal how much they charge for a bathtub.
Now, I want you to leave your contact information with Suzanne. Hold on. I will do everything legally, ethically, permitted, everything. But I am going to launch a business. I am sick and fricking tired. So instead of mouthing off, I'm going to do something about it. Douglas, hold on. Suzanne, get Douglas's information. We may have our installer, and then if anyone else is interested in getting involved in this, listen, folks, we're going to make some good money. But guess what? We're going to do good for people because they're going to pay a fraction. I mean a fraction. And screw all you people out there, screw you all, who are doing it and just inflating the hell out of it and hurting people. Just screw you.
This report is brought to you by Broadmoor Hotel.
Travel in the metro area and up in the high country, looking pretty good right now for this Monday morning. Up in the high country, US 6 over Loveland Pass, that's been reopened. In fact, I-70 looking...
Cutout walls.
Stop starting trouble. See, notice how he's instigating the naysayer over here. You see that?
They have to cut that
All of a sudden.
Your lies, is that from it? You want to start doing them in the next hour?
Yeah. Tell me what I said.
I'll bring it out now.
And I'll speak some in. Okay, I always do that. Yeah. Oh, by the way, was buy and build in any of the law? Okay, I'll get them in.
Adventures at the Broadmoor is now
Here's the kind she needed. Look at this, Dan. This is what she should have got.
Hers was
Is it called Big Mama?
That's what
You're right. If you're just going to get a walk-in...
Let's do one called Big Mama.
This is from the Colorado side.
You're right. If they're going to...
I think they...
How long was that one?
If you had gone to buy
Does it say how long?
4800 Washington Street in Denver, you would have saved
Looks like about 5 minutes.
cabinets, countertops.
But you're right. That was... But really,
For the good of mankind. That's what I'm doing.
she could have got a very simplistic shower with a...
Buy and build.
You wait.
Look at these ramps. They look just like hers. They're giving ideas of what's allowed. But it's just like hers.
You wait.
That looks exactly like...
Wait a minute.
Above that.
Was that part of the 15 grand?
I have no idea what they charge.
I gotta be fair.
Yeah, they did a ramp.
Did they do a good job?
No.
No, not really. It might have passed.
I say C-.
But here's the problem. The house is so
When you
old.
see Mark, I try to do something good for mankind. What does he do? He starts...
No.
Come on, man. This is for mankind.
Look, you know how... Now, look. Now, you're this. This is good.
I'm a realist. No, the ramp was not a
Hey,
good
we
ramp.
should come up with gestures for everyone, so this is going to be forever him. Yeah? He's just a little,
No, I like said.
Who's this?
But I don't think. Yeah. Who's that? I don't think a shower would have been. Don't you think a shower would have been better, just with a curtain and stuff for her?
Well, some of those older people don't want a shower. They make tubs to replace the shower.
But what I'm saying is, she can't really step up anything. She could barely get from when we walked in to the hallway to. It probably took 2 minutes for her to get there, right? 15 feet.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. You know what Mark is? You're this. You know what Mark is? That's what he is.
And then
He's like...
But first of all, he's throwing gas on it.
Right. I see him over here when I sometimes would be thinking he's going, well, I love Southwest.
Yeah, no. That doesn't sound... I've never heard you say...
I love the way they board.
Yeah, I love it. And they can save
Thank
seats.
God you can save seats. Next time I'm on, I'm going to save seats even though I don't have other people with me.
Then I'm going to sell them.
That'll be $5 if you want to sit here. Here's what I dread. When we go to Mexico, we're flying Frontier. I hate Frontier.
Why'd you get them?
1/3 the price of anybody else.
I get Rockies in right now. How about that? You want me to? Can I do it? Can I do a Rockies thing?
I think you did a little Ritalin today. Go.
U.S. media saying otherwise? Gee, the media lied about a Trump? What a surprise. Join me Monday at 4 o'clock for more Irreverent Talk Radio.
Hey, I want to tell you, I was up at Rocky's the other day, and they had Greg on the phone. He's the buyer, and he was in a city that I'm not allowed to mention because they found a pocket of beautiful used cars, trucks, SUVs, vans at extraordinary prices. And the boss man says, do it. And I said, this is unbelievable, the prices you guys get. And they pay cash for these cars. They own every one of them, and they can sell them at extraordinary values. Look at the newest crop at 63rd and Federal, Monday through Friday, or Monday through Saturday, I'm sorry, 9 to 8. And I got to tell you, it's unbelievable. What you'll find, and I said Monday through Saturday, 9 to 8, 63rd and Federal, 303-426-4646. Okay, let's go to the phones, take other problems.
Hey, David Porter says, get the tub, save the world, Tom. In fact, he's got a name for it.
What?
Tom's Tub and Tile.
No. Consumers first. How's that?
I like it.
No, I'm serious. You know what? I'm tired of flapping my mouth.
This is the one you're going to pull the trigger on.
Well, not the one. Remember the referral list years ago? I said I'm tired of people getting ripped.
True.
And everybody copied that, but they don't
No,
do it
but
like
we've
do it.
been talking lately on a lot of different things.
Yep, this is the first of maybe many, Mark, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Now let's help Erica. Erica, what's going on with you? We have a line open, 303-713-TALK. What's going on, Erica? Erica. Jeez, I wish. Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay,
Yes.
what's going on?
I'm sorry. I'm Erica's son. I'm so sorry. She had to go work. Basically what happened is, this guy sold us a car.
Yeah.
It said it was in great condition.
Was it
We're going through
Craigslist?
a really tough time.
Was it Craigslist?
Yes, it was Craigslist.
Did you guys have it checked out or not?
Yeah, we went over ourselves. We checked it out.
But you didn't send it to a mechanic or anything?
No, we didn't.
Okay, how many miles on the car?
122,000.
Yeah. What kind of car?
It was a Jeep. 2001.
Okay, so tell me the problem. What's going on with it?
The problem is that he scammed us. He said everything was fine on it, and we bought the car for like $6,700. And once we were heading down the highway, all of a sudden the hood flies up and hits the windshield.
Well, are you sure it wasn't latched probably, right? Or was it something wrong with it?
It was lashed and everything. And once we got home, we had to get a tow truck.
Oh,
Have it towed over here.
No. That's terrible. But
yeah.
Is this a Jeep? What model is this?
It's a Jeep Wrangler.
Yeah. They're hot commodities, man. And 6,700, not terribly priced, but they're 122,000. But here's the deal, Erica.
How are those held down? Aren't they held down by actual ties on each
Yeah,
front?
there's a latch on each side. Did the latch break?
One of them was broken, and one was still attached to the hood.
How did it break?
How did it fly up if one was attached to it?
Yeah.
I guess when the wind was blowing on the hood, it just broke it off, because once I checked it,
But you said one was not broken. Then how did it not break if it flew up?
I don't know. We were heading down the highway at 65.
Okay.
Sounds like one was on and wind got under there.
What else is broken? Well, I mean, other than that. Because I don't think you're going to be able to pin this on this guy. Not if he drove it there to meet you and all of that. But what else is wrong with the car?
The brake lights don't work. The turn lights don't work.
Did they work when you checked it out? You said you guys checked it out.
No, they didn't work. We didn't check it out fully.
So you never checked them?
Basically, we just went there and just looked at it.
Yeah. Erica, does the receipt say as is?
Yes.
Okay, what did the guy say? Did you call him back?
He blocked our number.
Oh, no, really? Hold on. Let's get his number. I don't know if we can help you. We'll try.
God, it's been an automotive month, hasn't it? It's been insane. One rip-off after another.
Erica, I truly feel badly for you. I don't know if I can help you, but if he blocked your number, we can probably get through to him. At least get his side of the story. Or see if he scammed you. I mean, there are scams. Even though it's as is, there are things we can possibly get him on. Gabe, what's happening?
Good morning, Tom. Hey, I had a question for you. I put two of them, really. We had a 93 Chevy conventional van, 64,000 miles for $5,000 for the handicapped people. if they're looking for one.
Really? Really? Okay, okay. That's good to know. And what condition is it in?
Excellent. One owner. He paid 30 grand for
Now,
it
what
back
do you
in
mean?
93.
What do you mean a '93 van Chevy for the handicap?
Well, it's a conventional van with the captain chairs and all that, TVs. And,
Oh,
you know,
it doesn't have any special equipment in it.
no, but you know, it could be used for one.
Is it
you know?
open in the back? Is it open, or is it? Are there seats?
There's captain chairs in it. They're conventional with the TVs and
Okay,
everything.
gotcha.
LED
Okay,
lights.
it's one of those old, like, decked out vans. So, Gabe, what else you got going?
Yeah, he also had an RV, a 98, with 24,000 original miles on it. He never drove it. You know, a big old Winnebago, 40-footer, I believe. And some guy came over a year ago. He advertised it for sale. This guy came over, and he sold it for $25,000 to this guy, and the guy gave him a cashier's check.
Uh-oh.
Over a holiday weekend, and he let him take it. And
Wait a minute.
found out,
Wait a minute. He let him take the Winnebago?
yeah.
And the
over
check.
holiday weekend.
The check
And
is bad.
The cashier's check was no good.
Where is this guy?
I don't know. He took off out of state. They don't know. He followed a police report. He called his American Family Insurance Company. They investigated, and they told him, and I met him yesterday for dinner, and he told me they told him just because he signed it over, the title,
It's
they're
a
not going to
civil.
cover it.
It's a civil matter.
They're not going to cover it.
Right. It's a civil matter.
Yeah, the insurance wouldn't cover that.
Nope.
Is that? I would thought it might be bad faith or something.
No, no. I mean,
wow.
it is bad faith, but insurance doesn't cover that.
Wow.
Insurance doesn't cover when we do something stupid or we do make a mistake like that. If this guy scammed him out of it, we got to try to find out where it is. I mean, you got the VIN number and stuff. You can report it stolen, or will they not even? Will they not even do that?
It's probably over the border, man.
They got a report stolen. The cop said.
Except he did.
In some yard.
Except technically, they're correct. He signed it over. I'll tell you, man, Brad. You might want to give me as much information as you can on the buyer, as much as you can. Give it to Suzanne or email it to us, and we'll see what we do. But, man, this sounds, Gabe, like a hopeless deal.
Did he sign the actual title over to him, or did he just sign it?
I think he said he signed the title, but we'll find out. It sounds like a no-hoper. We got more coming up.
I think this tub thing is an entree.
Time for some spring cleaning, so let's get those back tax issues cleaned out once and
We just got to see the true profit in it, man.
without the mental burden of a tax lien or the IRS knocking at your
Do
door.
that.
If you owe
I
back
think there's a
taxes
lot of
the year
room.
since you filed,
I don't know.
you've been
There's a lot of
slapped with
room
an
from
audit. It's
6,000
time
to
get
15,000. I think there's a lot of
Larson
room.
Tax Relief.
That's
I know
just
Brian
me.
Jack Larson and can vouch for their professionalism.
What do you think?
And they don't they do.
You in your gut, don't you think there's enough room in there that we say,
Larson Tax Relief. Their names
Courtney,
says it all.
you know if Courtney says he can get them and get good quality ones.
Experts to get you the absolute best.
Well, you got a sales rep. You're going to have back office.
Once and for all.
I would say your average.
Get your life back. And those worries.
I'd say you could undercut people by,
or 844 Larson Tax.
thousands.
844.
Not in half. I don't think in half.
Guaranteed, 50%
Larson Tax Relief.
guaranteed.
Tax Relief
18 grand, 9,000, guaranteed. Guaranteed.
I think the hardest part is the beginning to end paperwork on the Medicaid stuff. The normal cash ones, I see no problem. That's got to be, I bet the sales guys make a nice chunk off
North
those.
Korea is refusing to back away from its nuclear weapons.
Cutting into walls.
I say no salespeople.
Well, you'd have to.
Korea's foreign ministry claims
They got to go out and figure out the need and figure out what they're doing. And then somehow the state's got to approve everything.
Salesperson's, give 25. You give fucking salespeople $1,000 a unit. And you know what? You make the salesperson learn Medicaid, or they don't get to do it.
Yeah, they do their own paperwork.
But I'd be with Dan.
Dan could
I'm
do
going to
it.
be over here making
It'd be nice to have a tub that would come in 2 pieces, so you wouldn't have to cut the doorways. So you wouldn't have to cut the door to get them in there. Because, like I said, they had to cut the wall and the doorway to get that one in there.
I do it on, I'll do it, I forgot to do it at the opening of the show. I like doing it at the top of an hour.
You want to do it coming back from this one?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I just come in and say Tom Martino live, and then we go into that live on iHeart. Yeah,
Okay.
That's way easier.
That works for me.
As a rare spring blizzard closed roads in Kansas, stormy weather now heading up the East Coast.
I forgot to do iHeart, so
Head
keep me
transplants will
informed.
occur within the next 10 months.
Azaha.
From Italian neurosurgeon Dr. Sergio Cannavaro.
I am looking at the weirdest show I've ever seen.
What do you mean?
And I'm not sure what it's about yet. And it's the weirdest production, writing, and
What's it
plot.
called?
Sense8.
Never heard. Who's doing it?
Larry Bird
Netflix.
says it's just time to go.
Orange is the New Black got released.
No, I don't do it. I've never watched it. Is it good?
I love Orange
To
is the New
me,
Black.
it seems depressing because it's all in prison. Is it?
Nah, it's not depressing.
No?
It's more stupid. You probably wouldn't like it because it's more of a comedy.
It's a comedy.
It's more, I'd say it's more of a comedy.
Well, it's women in prison.
Wait, is it a comedy?
Well, I mean, there's comedy things in there.
There's always a comic thing. Well, no, the season opener is a riot in the prison.
But isn't this woman only in prison for something minor? For just
No.
She's only doing 18 months. I
She
heard.
ripped a lot of people off. I forget exactly what they did.
But it all centers around her, right?
It was financial.
Is she like?
It doesn't really even, I guess it centers around here
Is it
somewhat.
interesting?
I like the show, but I like funny. I'll tell you the one I used to love was called Oz. That was an HBO prison one.
What was on?
Oh,
It was brutal.
I could only watch like one
Oz was
show
brutal.
of that.
You know how they kill their enemies in the joint, man? They'd crunch up glass and put it in their fucking oatmeal. And they'd slowly tear apart their insides over weeks and weeks. They wouldn't know. They grind it up so much they wouldn't know the glass was in it.
And that would kill you.
Oh yeah, eventually just.
But there were constant rapes and
Oh my God, the prison rapes are unbelievable. That was a great show. I blew out.
One of them.
Has anyone heard? I heard this was good. To binge, to watch.
I'm sorry, are you done with the Winnebago call? I mean, it sounds like a simple matter and the guy is screwed. I don't know if I'm supposed to be doing something like that.
Just as much on the owner, have him email us as much as he can on the buyer, as much.
Okay.
I can't believe they took it back.
Wait.
Let's check.
What's the one? It's the motorcycle game one.
Anarchist?
Yeah.
Anarchy.
I never watched that one.
That's more of a true life.
It's not documentary.
What's the one that had Woody Harrelson in the first season? It was a great one. It's Showtime. God, it was good.
Did you ever? You know what? It was on for 8 seasons or 7 seasons. I watched every one of them.
Breaking
Person
Bad.
of interest.
Oh, person, I didn't watch that.
Oh man, from beginning to end, you'd love it. Holy shit, was it good? What about? You just said Breaking Bad. I started it. Did you like it?
Oh, Breaking Bad was good.
I saw one episode of Breaking Bad. That's all I've ever watched.
I watched 3.
That's good.
I'm not that big.
I watched 3, and I'm not getting
The first 3?
Yeah, not getting hooked.
Oh, he's going to get better. Has he shaved his head yet?
No.
Okay.
He's a teacher and he starts selling meth, right?
Right.
Or he becomes a
So
chemist.
he starts making the meth and selling it.
And what about Saul? Is that his attorney?
That's kind of like come after. He was
I
in
know,
the show.
but he was in the show, right? Wasn't he his attorney?
I'll tell you,
Better Call Saul.
I don't think.
the best one over time, though, I don't think it's been beat yet. Sopranos.
I don't disagree, but it's done. I saw everyone.
Game of Thrones. People say Game of Thrones is the best out there.
I can't get into it. I bought the whole bin.
I love Game of Thrones.
I can't keep track, and I'm pretty good.
I love Game of Thrones.
Mark, I can't keep track of everything.
Everybody has told me. I've never watched one episode.
I watched
Game of
4.
Thrones.
I watched 4, and I can't get into it.
I got
There's
so
too
into
many,
it.
too many names.
We binge watched the whole thing in probably a month.
Mark,
Every season.
Is that
does
better?
it really have good plot lines?
I love it.
What's better, that or you said The Sopranos?
Oh, I don't think Sopranos can be beat, man.
Really, Sopranos is better.
Oh my God, Sopranos, they did such a
The
good
thing
job.
about Sopranos, though, it doesn't have a lot of. I like where they have theme to theme. I mean, show to show. I like interweaving stories. I don't like to have complete episodes necessarily.
See, that's so weird. There's a show called SVU, and each week it's a different episode. There is no interweaving. They might have a small interweaving, like someone's got an issue in the back, but it's always a different thing, and I like that better than mostly interweaving.
No, I like when you can't wait to see what the next one is.
See, sometimes, like with The Sopranos, sometimes I like
Scandal. Holy shit, is that good?
Scandal. I don't even know.
House of Cards. Have you read that?
Oh my God, every one of them. I can't wait. You didn't see it?
No, I did. That's great.
You've got to.
I never watched
Mark,
House of Cards.
Mark, you got to start.
Who's the main guy?
Netflix. Oh, Kevin Spacey.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, live all over the place because of iHeartRadio. You know, I have friends all over the country listening, and they say, Tom, we love it. And not only me, but if you want to listen to anyone in any city at any time, you can make your own station even with the app. I just can't say enough about iHeart. It's really virtually made this show national. And any kind of genre you want, any talk you want, any music you want, you can build your own station. And it remembers all of your settings, of course, because you personalize it and log in if you want. And
with Bluetooth, you just connect your phone to your car, and bam, it's like the radio.
No, you do.
I know.
Mark, people don't realize that. You can use iHeart over your car radio by Bluetoothing, just like Mark said. You don't even need the radio, and you listen all over the country. Anyway, don't forget to get that, okay, and tune us up there. Also, we're live on YouTube. We're live on Facebook. We're live at on our radio stations, of course. And, hey, KHOW and then the Springs KRDO. Hey, Mark, we got a lot going on today.
Springs Auto and Truck Service Center.
Now, Springs Auto and Truck Service Center, they simply replaced a turbo for a guy and ruined his engine.
All you got to do is watch the video.
It's
got the actual pictures.
Yeah, you got to see it. It's only, what, a minute 30 or 2 minutes? The video.
That.
It tells the entire story. We truly want to know your opinion. Please go to Facebook. This guy literally is blaming everyone and everything.
He's now blaming me.
Why is he blaming you?
You'll love this. So last night, he posts that I never contacted them. So I turned around.
Yeah, he was on the radio show. How can he say he never gave his side of the story? He was on the show.
Well, not just that. So I turned around where I left him a voicemail on his phone and sent him that. Then he actually acknowledged, yes, we did leave messages with him. First honest thing I think the guy's ever said. Then he goes, are you the same Mark Major that used to own Aspen Tire and Auto?
Yeah. He talked about Mark in his auto shop because he used to work for Napa, this guy. And he says because Mark had some outstanding balances at Napa.
No, it's because I did a Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
I know, but he tried to make it say that now until Mark pays me that money. I mean, he's insane. How can this guy, Daryl, be in business now?
I have no idea.
Now, Mark, did you say that the owner is a... I
think that was the owner.
I can't believe the owner would be... Would
all they got to do, if they have garage keepers, they have to do is turn it over. Say, we screwed up. That's what Garage Keepers is for. And I got to tell you, some of their customers down there better watch it. You know, if they do it to one guy like this, I know they work on Frito-Lay stuff. I know they work on some of these other sprinters. Watch out, folks down there in Colorado Springs. And, Daryl, you're a piece of work, bud.
He's a liar.
He's trying to blame me for something now. Keep grasping at the straws, guys down there. Keep grasping, and I welcome you on the show to talk about anything you want to talk about me. Just get this guy's stuff handled.
You know, we reached 10,000 people with this story.
Well, it'll be more than 10,000. That thing has gone insane.
Now, I want you to go to Facebook. Here's what it is. Facebook.com/referralist.
Yep.
And everything you need is there. Okay, let's go to the phone.
This poor guy Matt's out $16,000, Tom. And please, listeners, just ask Springs Auto and Truck Service to do the right thing. You can reach him at 719-382-0363. Just say, do the right thing. Look at the video, call up.
Yeah. Listen, I want to make it clear that we have a serious problem with Bentley baths for this tub they sold this woman. She simply can't even fit in it. Plus, we were told they did a poor job. But we got talking about pricing in general, not just Bentley baths. I want to make this clear. I don't control pricing. On my referral list, people can charge whatever they want as long as they do honest, good work. I imagine there's a point of what's called unconscionability when it gets so highly priced, it's ridiculous. Such, I believe, is the bathroom, the walk-in tubs. We've priced them out. And I allowed for $2,000. Courtney is telling me now you can buy them for $500 to $800 a unit. But if you buy a bin, a container. But let's just say if you paid $2,000 for the tub plus $1,500 for installation, which is double what this guy said, plus $300 for permits and $500 for office work, and even throw commissions on that, you're up at around $4,000. They're charging $16,000 minimum for these things. But so I decided I'm going to start a company. I should say I'm exploring it, but I'm going to do it. Unless there is something I am absolutely not, and I'll let you know each step of the way. So if I come up, let's say for some reason I find out there's some hidden cost no one ever knew about. But so far, I'm doing it. I mean, but Mark says, who knows? What do you think could be there, Mark, that would make that price 16 grand?
I think, well, I'm not saying it should be 16,000, but I think the sales aspect, because you're dealing with the elderly a lot, I think the time consumption from the beginning of the project to the end, there's probably either a product manager.
You're saying they put in more work than a parent?
I would say absolutely. Plus, I can't even imagine having to deal with some folks. Some folks can be hard to deal with.
Okay. I think if we make it quick and dirty, and you make it good, great quality, and you do it, I don't know, I think you can do it for a fraction of the cost. But in all of this discussion, Lorraine called and said she had a walk-in tub put in for $1,300, which I find impossible to believe because I did the pricing. But let's talk to her. Lorraine, I don't want you to mention the company yet, but you say the complete was $1,300.
Right.
Now, is it a walk-in tub?
It's a walk-in tub, and I kept my original tub.
How long?
Because it was in good condition.
Oh, they put a door in it.
No, they cut out a step so that I can just step right into it. It's a cutout right in the tub.
That's what I meant, dear. They did.
Right.
But then they put a cutout, but then when you walk in, how do you keep the water in?
Well, you have your drain in your tub.
No, what I mean, dear, is...
Oh, I have a shower curtain.
No, but if they put a... Oh, so you use it as a shower then?
Right.
Okay, I got you, dear.
I use it, in other words,
so it's not a it's not a walk-in tub. It's a walk-in shower.
Yes,
they
right,
convert. No, I
shower.
understand. That's wonderful. So they converted your tub into a walk-in shower, in essence. Okay, that's a great option, too.
It's great. I mean, all I have to do is just step right in there. I have a bar on the right side where I can hold on to and just walk right out, and it's perfect. I have no problem with it at all.
I got to tell you, I think that's a viable option. It is. Because, you know, it's not that easy.
You know, the pricing you were talking about, it's so weird thinking about this. We would charge less than what the average is. Because wouldn't you say the average for these tubs, it's not just Bentley, it's anybody selling these things, is getting 15, 16 grand. So I go, okay, there must be profit there, but at the same time,
in other words,
why isn't there a cheap
You're asking why is the whole industry charging this?
Yeah, why? We discuss this with HVAC. We've discussed this with a lot of
Because they
stuff.
can get away with it. Mark, what's going on with you? Mark.
Hello?
What's going on with
sir.
you, sir? What's happening?
Good morning. This is a funny one. My son caught a DUI last June.
Oh.
And so lost, his driving privileges. His boss...
Did he use Joe Lazara?
No, I only found out about Joe when it was too late. That said, he had been using this truck, of course, for work. He worked for a gutter guy up in Bailey, and the gutter guy didn't have a truck, or it broke down, so he started using my son's in June. Sometime the end of September...
He started using your son's vehicle?
Yes. And going to jobs, bidding things, carrying materials, dragging
Now,
around
was your
his
son
gutter
with him?
machine. Yeah, sometimes he was. Sometimes he wasn't. He would drop my son off at a job and then go to
I get
the
it.
truck
And your son didn't have a license?
Well, he lost it in the DUI.
Okay,
temporarily.
so now, they're using your son's vehicle at work.
Yes.
Okay.
End of September, 1st of October, the truck breaks down. Has a wheel bearing go out in the back, and the power steering pump went out. And the owner brought it in and authorized repairs to a shop up there in Bailey, or Pine, or somewhere. The truck was...
What owner? The owner of the company?
Yeah, the guy who's been borrowing my son's truck.
Oh, he's the owner. Okay.
Yeah. So after the truck's been in there a week or two or four, whatever it was, the truck was repaired, and there's a $2,200 bill for repairing the bearings and the power steering pump, etc. And the owner, John, my son, felt was responsible for some portion of it,
Not without a prior agreement. He's not. I mean, according to everything good and holy, he is. I mean, it's just common sense, right? But technically, without some kind of written agreement, no, he's not responsible.
Well, how about a verbal agreement to pay half of it that my son recorded in their conversation?
Now, was this prior to letting him use the truck or after?
No, this was after, once the repairs were done, and my son, of course, did not have access.
Now that's different. Now hold on. I'm hoping you can grasp this one. This is a technicality, and it's a really good one. So I want you to hold on, and we're going to talk about this. What do you think, Mark? The guy promised to pay, and he can prove it.
I think? I say it's going to be tough to collect.
We're going to see though. There's a fine line.
I'm going to get Joe into this, by the way. I'll just tell you as I knock him out.
Drive on the highway, metro areas, and pretty good.
You know, when we were booking our airlines,
Delays either north and southbound I-25 looking good from
what I noticed was I pick out airlines by the brand name. I don't pick them out by price.
I need you to do me a favor, Suzanne. Oh, come in. What's that, Mark? Do you need me? I'm going to go talk to Suzanne.
No, not at all.
I thought you were starting to say something.
No, I was just saying I book airlines by brand, not by price. Budgers. What'd you do over the weekend? Anything cool, man?
Nothing cool.
Did you go up to your cabin?
Nope.
No?
No.
Oh, shit, yeah, man, we got
So you really like that brand, huh? You make sure it's like Delta, right?
Yeah. We got 12 inches.
No matter what, you got 10 here.
You got 12 inches?
More
You
than
got
that,
10
actually.
here.
God, it was the heaviest damn snow.
I guess we did, didn't we?
Yeah, I mean, that's,
But nothing stuck to our driveway.
right,
Look at
right.
it, springtime.
And Mark, I gotta take this out here because it's about somebody who watches us.
Is it about Dan?
It is about him. It's not that lady who lost her kid to the hardtop tile.
Vinyl, luxury vinyl tile. In fact, they have so many selections, I shouldn't even try to explain it. Just go there. These guys you can trust to get you the best pricing, the best installation, and the best warranties in the business. No seconds, all first quality flooring, and you'll love the personalized attention. You'll love the way these guys, Don and Matt, do business. On Evans, just west of Santa Fe, you can call or drop in 303-630-9204. Look for Paradigm on my referral list as well at referralist.com. 303-630-9204. Why do I prefer Ideal Home Loans? Let me count the ways. 1, their interest rate guarantee. If rates go down over the next 2 years, they refinance you free of lender fees. 2, pick your term. Get your low rates, but you don't have to start over. 5, 10, 13, 18 years, you choose. 3, credit optimization. If you're approved, they can make small tweaks to your credit to get you even lower rates and fees. 4, pre-approval. It's like a cash deal when you make an offer. All you need is an appraisal. 5, 3-week closes, and everything is guaranteed in writing. I could go on and on and on, but I have a show to do. Ideal Home Loans for your next Ideal Home Loan. 303-867-7000. IdealHomeLoans.com. Ideal Home Loans is regulated by the Division of Real Estate. NMLS number 136756. Call 303-867-7000. Example based on $250,000 loan amount, 32% DTI, 740 credit score, owner-occupied financing, 80% loan to value. Ideal Home Loans also on my referral list.
She lost her kid. She's just...
Being accused of a crime.
All right, Dan, bad news, bud.
Oh, Dan. Here. Do this.
He's stirring the pot.
Which one?
We just were told what you did.
No, I can't believe when Tim says, hey, who's that guy anyway? He's stirring the pot.
And it took us a while to see what he saw.
We're wondering, like, what the...
He found it out.
He's very observant.
He saw in 2 minutes. What took us months to figure out.
Yeah, I know. Here, behind the scenes, stirring the pot.
And it's very subtle little ways.
Oh, yeah, like getting...
Nuances.
Getting Daphne all upset.
Newman. Nuances from Newman.
Cloning. He's a cloning. I want to go down and see that building. I'm guessing that's going to be all BS. And then we'll get some good video of our friends at the Springs Automotive.
the building from the guy who said
It's
they had that
dangerous,
gap-
you could fall
that
through.
gap in there. I talked to him this morning.
I'll be the first to say, I think he's a nut. But I'll go down and check it out.
See, he doesn't sound like a nut. What it sounds like is the problems are not as bad as he believes because he's a contractor.
You know what he told me?
Dan wants me to roll him literally,
Do you know what I'm
literally,
saying?
in a wheelchair over where this is.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like do you notice like studs that are supposed to be like, let's say 24-inch on center. It's a 24-inch. And let's say they go 30 some places, 28. There are some contractors that say this is a dangerous building, right?
Oh, yeah.
Technically, it's not 24-inch on center.
And it
blah,
should have
blah,
been
blah.
done differently.
Yeah. But that's what I'm wondering. Is it something like that?
I'm guessing it's more of like a sliver, a little sliver that could possibly
He said
happen.
6.5 on the worst floor
That's
on
bad.
floor 6 to.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Now, Mark.
His son got a DUI, lost his license, so he loaned his truck to his boss because he couldn't drive. And anyway, to make a long story short, by the way, since we're on the subject of DUIs, and I said you should have used Joe Lazzara, you know, I always throw things in like that from my referral list, and somebody followed up with a message, Facebook, saying, well, what do you mean? Well, it just, he's a guy that I refer people to. He's an attorney on our referral list for DUIs. And also, a lot of the DUIs now are not just alcohol, they're marijuana as well. And Joe will fight for you, but I want you to know something. If you're dead to right guilty, you still need an attorney. Don't just go in and plead guilty. You need an attorney to get through the system because there's a motor vehicle part to it too to help preserve your license. And if you think you're innocent or your rights were violated, you need an attorney. So I guess what I'm saying is, in all cases, you need an attorney. And we're not encouraging, of course, DUI. We're just saying you need an attorney no matter what. We hope you learn your lessons, of course. 303-429-6200. And Joe Lazzara's on my referral list. But Mark has a very interesting topic. And he said this. Now, listen carefully. They did not have a prior agreement. He just let his boss use the car. His boss used it quite a bit for materials and transportation, and then it broke down. There's a $2,200 bill, and he said, isn't he responsible for some of it? I said, sure, under what's right and holy. I mean, if you just common sense, you'd say, hey, I've been using your truck, let me help ship in for that. Of course you would, right, to a certain extent. But then there's another part of it, and that is a contractual agreement. Technically, if you let someone borrow your car and something goes wrong, they're not responsible for it. They're really not. So that's the technicality. But then Mark says, what if I had an agreement and he promised to pay for it? Now, a verbal agreement, can that be enforced? Now, here's the fine line, I said, Mark, okay? That agreement, that verbal promise did not come before he had it repaired. It came after.
Correct.
Now, here's the fine line, and I hope Mark will understand this too. If it came before it was worked on, if he said verbally, and you had it recorded, and he said to your son, what's your son's name?
John.
He says, hey, John, you go get your truck fixed. I'm going to pay for some of it, or I'm going to pay for half of it because it's only right. Then the son goes in and gets it fixed. And then the guy says, I'm not paying for it. That would be a contract. He said, John, take your truck in and I'll pay for it. Half of it. It's got to be specific, okay? I'll pay for half of it. Then you could probably sue him in small claims court and get half of it because he induced you to take it in to get it fixed. But because the truck was already fixed, the guy said, I'll pay for half of it. And now he's not paying for half of it. So now it's not a contract, it's a lie. Do you see the difference?
Sure.
You can't necessarily, you can't sue people just for lying. You can sue people for inducing you to do something. You can sue them when it costs you, when it causes you damage. Now, let's just throw out the idea of a contract. I think the guy just lied to him. But now let's talk about the legalities here. Not legal advice, but the legalities, meaning what would happen if your son takes him to court? If he could show that this guy was responsible for it, I think he would win in small claims court. But I don't think he can. But let's examine this. How many miles on it?
About 200.
Okay, you're done. You're done right there. You're done. You're totally done. There's nothing, absolutely done. Okay? So that's where it would end. Because no matter what, anyone would make the argument that that thing was worn out, and no matter what this boss did, he robbed your son of no longevity. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, let's say if I manhandled a car with 30,000 miles on it and ruined something, that's different than manhandling a car with 200,000 miles and something going wrong. I could make the argument that it wasn't my manhandling. This thing was ready to go anyway. I'm just saying, Mark, it's just not worth it. It's truly not, in my opinion. Brad, what's going on with you? Hello, Brad.
Hey, how are you, Tom?
What's happening? We got some pictures here. What's going on?
I started a small kitchen project. What was going to be small, and it kind of turned into cabinets for everything. And the cabinet guy I was using recommended a granite guy.
Oh, man, don't you? I wish you listened. You would have gone to Art of Granite, but okay.
I know.
Oh, man,
know.
I mean,
Hindsight.
I'm looking at these pictures. And listen, folks, that's what when we say help, information, and referrals, we do all three. Like, I can't believe on the sink here, the corner, what is that crack all about?
Well, so check this out. He actually broke it twice. He's gone through 4 slabs, and the kitchen's
but to his defense, he has been replacing it when he cracks it.
Well, he did the one piece. He said, "Hey, I'll come out and repair it first." And I said, "Well, if that doesn't look good.
Not on the sink corner.
It.
Not on the sink.
Yeah.
I can see if it was a little chip somewhere, but not on the sink corner like that."
And the pictures I sent you are just of the sink. There's other cracks in the other pieces of granite.
Here's the bottom line. It's a lousy job.
Yep.
So what is he doing about it?
Well, nothing. He agreed. Finally, I had 3 other people come and look at it in the granite business and all say it was bad.
It's really bad.
He finally agreed to give me all my money back for the labor and for the
Okay. What else do you want?
Well, but he hasn't done it. And now he's not returning calls, and he's not
I don't see
not acknowledging.
This thing has to be redone. I mean, I don't see how this guy can. What's his name?
His name is Manuel Marquez.
It's amazing he's this bad at it.
What's the name of the company, Brad?
The Denver Stone Company.
Denver Stone Company. God.
So he now, again, hindsight being 20/20, looking at reviews, there's other people that are trying to get money from him. He straight up said, "I'm not going to leave you hanging. I don't want to go to court. I'll give you $1,000."
Well, you got to take him to court or take the money. I mean, we'll try to. Did we try to call Suzanne at all?
I haven't yet, but he has a stellar 1-star review on the internet.
That would have.
How do you get that star?
Yeah, that would have taken a long time to find out, Brad.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Now the general, you had a general contractor, right?
Kind of, but this has gone on. We have not had a kitchen for over 2 months now. Well, 12 weeks.
Well, I know, but that's you can still use your kitchen, for goodness sakes.
Well, we don't have a sink hooked up.
Yeah, but okay, I understand. Yeah, so you know, like the wrist is connected to the elbow, and the elbow is connected to the shoulder, and shoulder. Yeah, I see. It's all interconnected, but man. You're not going to hold him responsible for that if you're looking for damages. In other words, there's not much you're going to do about that as far as not having a kitchen. You just need to get your money. But here's the problem. Even if you got a judgment against this guy, I'm 90% sure you'll get one. Then what? He probably doesn't even have anything. How much have you paid him so far?
Well, I paid him $2,500 for the labor plus the stone.
Oh, no.
And so he said he would pay me the $3,500 back, but then now it's been a week and he won't return calls. He stopped answering texts and calls.
I hope people hear this, and not because I mean, I'm sad for you, but God, they can just avoid this with Art of Granite. I'm telling you. And we have a lot of people that do great home improvements, but this is really bad because now he won't even take your call. We will try to get through him, okay? That's all I can say. We'll try to light a fire. We'll go to war with him even and put his name out. And Suzanne, I'm saying even so far as the Sleaze Brigade, if we can get some information. And Daff is listening probably. Let's tee this up for the Sleaze. Mark, this sounds terrible.
Hey, people got to check out Sleaze Brigade, too, if you've never been there.
No.
It's a deal within itself.
SleazeBrigade.com, the total antithesis of referral list. By the way, Art of Granite is Mitch Floria. Now, He sells the stone wholesale. He does fabrication and installation. He does the tear out and haul away of your old kitchen. He's a great guy. He really is. We ought to maybe get his opinion. Maybe he can use some of that residual stone somewhere else and maybe give some credit. And I don't know if he can or not. I'm just asking. Maybe you want to give him a call. But anyway, this guy is so unbelievable. You give him a photograph, and he gives you, and some measurements, he'll give you a preliminary price that's pretty damn close. Mark, his estimates with you have been really close, right? And then you go pick the stuff, right?
Those cabinets are awesome.
So then you go pick the stuff, cabinets and countertops, any kind of material, but he specializes in granite and stone and all that. Then he gives you the final price when you pick that stuff. He templates it. And how long does it take from beginning to end?
3-4 weeks.
Okay. And sometimes it depends on the stuff. It can be 1 to 4 weeks. 303-386-5919, artofgranite.net. Just look for Art of Granite on my referral list. Now, Brad, we're going to call him, okay? That's what we can do. Caroline has a terribly heartbreaking story. God, it's so depressing when you lose a child. What do you do? We'll talk about that and more.
And I know who I'll call. Zero Red. The ones who cleaned my carpets before, time and time again.
All right, let's talk about
Val Kilmer. I love Val Kilmer. No sticky residue.
Yeah, no, I think he's getting better.
Zero Red cleans carpets. They get them really clean with their patented empowered water. No soaps, harsh chemicals, or detergents.
That Val Kilmer's a pussy.
He wasn't that good of a pilot. He was Batman, too.
In some cases, additional fees
played the one series
when I walk on my carpets after Zero Res, they feel
so you really think
and I never have to worry about dangerous toxins left behind.
Breaking Bad? Well, you haven't watched Breaking
I only
Bad.
watched one episode, man. I just didn't get into it.
Oh, you'll get into it.
Yeah?
Towards the very end, it will.
You'll like it.
Man, you see the market today, it's like, it's so flat, it's crazy. Where's your X at? Does it come up? I'm glad I didn't jump in there.
Mike Campbell here, serial entrepreneur.
MS Microsoft ended up over, shit, man, they're at 69.40 today. Why are they up so high today?
So what did it go up to?
So I wrote my own shit-grade version of
Let's put it this way. I should have jumped my ass in when I was thinking about it. I missed about $2 a share.
I've got the Denver Stone Company coming on. I mean,
good.
the guy has a decent side to his story. I think it's worth,
What is it?
best contract he had ever seen.
that the consumer went and bought his own stone at a deep discounted rate. It's like cheap stone, he says. It's like, I mean, that Brad never says that. I mean, that's a whole
interesting.
Successful company.
And then, so for the second install, he took money out of his own pocket, went
Ask
to the
Mitch.
same place Brad went.
Ask Mitch if that story holds any water. I don't know shit about that.
Why would we ask Mitch?
Ask him if there's such thing as
bad stone
that it always breaks. I mean, ask him. I don't know the
And
answer
ask
to
the
that.
thickness of it, because that's also, did they get really thin stone?
I just never heard of like granite, had real cheap granite. It's freaking slate. You figure
But
if you
this
know how
isn't
to cut
granite.
it.
Oh, it's
You
not
try to
granite.
cut tile
I
without
don't think
water,
it's
you're going to
granite.
crack it.
So I have the Denver Stone Company coming on, Tom, and he's got a decent argument on his side. He's already talked to his attorney, too.
What is the argument?
That
That he has to accept the cracks?
the consumer bought the stone at a discounted somewhere else. He bought the stone.
He's saying
and
the
then
stone is so cheap it cracks. Is
He
that
bought
possible?
bad stone.
Get Mitch for you.
Okay, I'll do my best.
What did he
Mitch
say?
is tough.
Yeah.
Ah,
What did you say?
You can't get Mitch on. What's that, Mark?
We've got another one. We got a couple granite guys. Sasha would be second.
If you have arthritis in your knee,
Okay, I would say, well, Courtney's already been on, I'm still okay. Courtney's also granite. Sasha would be all right.
I'll try Mitch first. But
Is Sasha an endorsement?
No.
Why do you treat her so well?
Because that's where I want to go with it.
your new home, we have new loan programs.
I always wonder what's on your beauty smile.
So I called the guy after the car that sold that Jeep to those girls. He said, what? He answered the phone.
Purchase your next home with us.
First of all, he said he wasn't Stacy. He said, me don't sell no car. So he said.
Me no sell no.
Me no sell no car.
I can tell you where not to get a car fixed. Do not go to Springs Auto and Truck Service Center, ever.
This fourth hour is ridiculous, Kevin. It's freaking ridiculous.
You mean third hour?
The third hour.
Communication throughout the process. 17. Yeah, you're doing good though. Take aim.
You're a champ.
And trusted broker since 2001.
The only other person that could pull that off would be Geraldo.
191.
In his younger days.
In his younger days.
You have an elbow that's sore, maybe you need knee surgery, or you think you do, shoulders, backs.
You play tennis at all?
You, if you want to know about
Yeah, I used to.
Do you?
I love racket sports.
I love racket sports too.
I love tennis.
Really?
I want to get back into racquetball.
I play racquetball.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Do you have membership somewhere?
No, but I play South.
Tinnitus because I got the tinnitus thing here.
Oh, Southwest.
They have a number of affiliated clubs around the country.
Like the Y?
Well, it's not the Y, but it's Southern.
We have them in Douglas, kind of.
Mark, I'm gonna have a little fun conversation. I'll ask you a question.
Are you real good?
No, I haven't played for a while. I do love it though.
I like ping pong.
I'm not bad. I'm okay at
I got a ping pong table.
I played a lot in military school.
Did you really? Ping pong?
We had foosball and ping pong. That was it, man.
Do pool?
The closest girls' school was a Catholic school far, far away. So, and the name of the city was New Bloomfield. It was so tiny, smaller than anything around here.
You know, Malcolm in the Middle, his older brother went to military school.
I love that show.
Yeah.
I binge watched that
What a
about
cute
4
show.
years ago.
What a cute show.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's a
great
good
show.
I agree.
The mother's disgusting.
Yeah. It's a little hard.
All right, Mark, guess what I do now 6 hours a day?
6 hours a day?
And I'm not going blind.
Is it in your bed?
No, let me be serious. Look at this thing. Do you see it?
Oh my God, I hear that thing.
You do hear it a little?
I hear it only when we're sitting in the office and everything's quiet. I hear the tones.
I finally bit the bullet. I went to Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing and got this because
Folks, it looks like a cell phone.
Well, yeah, it's just an iPod. You remember them?
Oh my God, that really is an iPod.
It's an iPod. I have not seen them. It's a single-purpose iPod, and I sat and got tested. I'm going to do a little story on it, and I'll post it. But I sat and got tested where they, you know, the ringing in my ear. They try to match it with a tone, okay? And then when they match it, they feed it into a computer, and it comes up with this program. And then the program is put into this iPod, and the program, I think, hits that tone, plus hits above and below it and around it in little pulses.
You've been doing very good at it,
and
too.
it'll go, okay. And so you wear it, and you're going to wear it for 6 weeks. And there are reports from people who've done it. Now, I'm doing it for the first time, but people say, it is a cure. Now, they don't use the word cure because of the FDA. They say a permanent solution, meaning the tinnitus goes away. And then you get to keep this and the headphones. They're special headphones. You can, but you get to keep them forever. So let's say every few years, if you need a retouch, you do it.
Do you wear it at night?
I wear it whenever I want. You can do it at night. You can do it when you're driving. You can do it when you're talking. You don't have to. So I do it in the morning, and I was doing it sleeping for a while, and then I do. So when I sleep alone, I do it.
That's what I mean. Is it that effective?
No.
Is it as effective when you're sleeping?
It doesn't matter when you do it. It's confusing your brain.
That's cool.
It's desynchronizing. It's called It's desynchronizing the sound. All I want to tell you is this, okay? Please, if you are suffering from hearing or hearing loss or tinnitus or both, these guys are the best. Dr. Patty, Dr. Lisa, Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center, 303-534-0163. But anyway, those on Facebook and stuff, you can see it. It's just that's it with headset. And they're tiny. The earplugs though look like almost hearing aids. They go deep into your ear, and then it plays that desynchronization. Brad had some granite done. The job is terrible. I saw the photos. It's cracking near where the sink corner is, and it's Brad, isn't it? Line 3, yeah, okay. And yep. where the sink lines, and also the seams are terrible. And Denver Stone, we did talk to him. They say we want to talk, and because you said he was going to give you money back. He said.
Correct.
But he's on the line right now. He's not hiding from anywhere. He said, Manuel, tell tell me now, you're blaming the stone for this?
What's that?
Are you blaming the stone?
Yes, I blame the stone from the get-go, and Brad knows it, and I took pictures.
Now, what do you? Now, hold on a second. You're saying Brad bought his own granite.
He bought the stone. He bought the granite. I didn't buy the granite. He bought it.
Did he buy it from you? Where did he buy it?
From me, from a company locally.
And then you fabricated it.
Yes. And the minute we started cutting, the stone fissures started creating.
You mean the minute you started cutting what? The sink?
The slab in general.
But you cut it for what? Like, did you do the sink opening, or did someone else do it?
No, we do everything. We have a bridge saw. We put it on a bridge saw, a big slab. We cut it on a bridge saw.
But the slab has already been polished. It's ready to go. You just have to cut out the openings.
We have to cut out the opening, we cut out the edges and polish them, laminate them, and that's what we did.
And you're saying it's so cheap that it cracks?
The first cut we did, it started cracking, and I sent pictures to Brad and let him know.
And then you did another, and then he bought another one, or did you buy it?
No, I bought it out of my own pocket to fix the one that didn't work.
And the second one did the same thing.
And right when I cut it, I called him, I told the other company, the stone doesn't work, it's cracking. And they're like, well, we prefer a fissure over a crack. So I'm like, well, it's going to break as soon as we cut the sink out, because the fissures are right where the sink is, and as soon as those fissures get vibration with the grinder, because that's how we cut our sink, it's going to turn into a crack.
Are you saying you're not doing anything wrong, you're saying?
No, I have more than 15 years of experience.
I wonder if we took a piece of that granite and had, like, Mitch or someone cut it, would it break?
But here's the deal. Brad, are you buying it, though? He's saying it's not his fault.
Well, first of all, Manuel's been he's a nice guy. I've had 3 independent people come in and look at it, and all of them, including the companies who sold the stone, they've all said it's not the stone's fault.
Well, the guy that sold the stone, of course, the guy that sold the stone isn't going to admit it. Hold on a second, all of you. Hold on, Brad. I want to bring up my expert, Mitch Floria, Art of Granite. Now, Mitch has not seen this job at all. Did you send him a photo at all, Suzanne?
I did not, Tom, but I can real quick.
Yeah, why don't you send him one? But I just want to talk to Mitch. Hey, Mitch.
How are you, Tom?
Good. Mitch Floria, Art of Granite, a great guy. I just want to know something. I'm not putting one against another. I'm asking a professional, unbiased opinion. Is there such thing as stone that just has a tendency to crack?
Some granite slabs are weaker than others. Some are porous. Some have fissures or cracks when they core them.
And there's nothing, in other words, there's nothing you can do about it. If you cut out a sink or something, it's going to crack.
Well, what they do is, the quarry, they cut them and then they apply a resin on top to hold the slab together. And sometimes you see cracks. They have like a feel, like a resin feel in them.
Yeah.
And then some of these slabs, when you set them on a saw table and you start fabricating them, because of the vibration from the saw and the grinders and all, some of these fissures can open. And that's a problem, but at that point, you got to stop and you got to talk to the homeowner. Now, I don't know what conversations they had there.
Right. Now, what do you do in a case like that? I mean, in other words, do you just say if a consumer bought their own stone, don't you know this before you start fabricating the whole thing? Would you say to the consumer, hey, this doesn't look good, or what?
Yeah, you have to guide them. Customers usually go look for slabs, and they see colors, and they see how pretty they are.
No, I know, but can you tell before you start fabricating it or cutting into it, can you tell if it's going to have a tendency to crack or break?
If you notice all the fissures in a slab, then yes. But if a slab is not cracked or fissured prior, then it shouldn't break during fabrication. Now, there's a lot of types of granites out there. Some of them are very hard and dense, and some of them are just weak and porous.
Could it be, let's say this, could an installer or fabricator cause the cracks?
Well, yeah, granite breaks, so if you don't handle it properly, it can break during fabrication and installation. Any granite can break, even if it's a solid piece. If you don't handle it properly, and if you put a lot of stress on it, it may break, especially around the sink and cooked up cutouts.
Could you take a look at these photos, Mitch? We just sent you on email.
Hey, Tom.
Yes.
Manuel was with me when we picked out the stone. And then
he was.
It was delivered
Manuel,
to him.
You helped pick out.
Yes, and I was there and I looked at the stone, and you can't use. It's 2 cm granite that's extremely soft. It is dense, but it's really soft. It turns into dust when we cut it, and when you cut it's a leathered finish, and so it has already, it already has valleys and pits and everything inside the stone, so you can't really see until you actually put water on it and start cutting it.
So basically, are you saying, Manuel,
start to appear?
Manuel, are you basically saying, hey, bud, you bought the granite, it's not my problem?
Yes, but I've also, I didn't have a chance this week, but I was going to offer Brad $1,300, and that was all I could offer him back, but I'm not going to give him all the money he's asking for.
Manuel, we agreed to you giving me that back, and you said you would give me $1,000, and then wait a week, and you would give me the $2,500.
And then I spoke with my attorney, and he's like, well, you didn't buy the stone from the get-go, so you're not liable. And then I said, well, he's like, my attorney advised me to at least give you half of what the labor was, and I'm like, well, I'll agree on that. And that's what I was going to come at you with.
So you're offering $1,300, half of the labor.
Yeah, half of the labor, even though I offered him. I said, if you buy a 3 cm granite, I'll fabricate the whole kitchen for free, as long as it's a 3 cm granite.
So if you're saying,
was just horrible.
You're saying if he buys another piece of granite that's better, you'll fabricate it free, but you'll charge for installation again, right?
How much would that installation be?
Nothing. I told him if he buys 3 cm granite, not 2 cm, 3 cm granite, I would refabricate.
I think that's fair, Tom.
So hold on. So you're going to give him $1,300 back, and then if he plus.
No, I'm not.
No, he's saying he'll do it all over again.
You mean instead of the $1,300 refund, you would reinstall the whole thing free.
And I told Brad that 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
All right, hold on. I got to take this break. Hold on. I see what you're doing. I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to be reasonable. At least you're not ignoring him. We got more coming right up.
This report is brought to you by Mattress Firm.
The Highway Drive in pretty good shape across the metro area freeways. Really one slow spot. It's on the westbound side of I-70 on either side of Vasquez. Watch out for delays along that stretch. Otherwise, I-70 looking good. Traveling out west towards Arvada and Golden. I-25 up to speed through the heart of the city. Trouble-free on the Turnpike. 6th Avenue's in good shape in Lakewood. And no issues on 225 out in Aurora. The weather forecast, a mixture of clouds and sun today. Nice with a high of 62. Tonight, partly cloudy and a low of 36. Right now, partly sunny skies in Denver, and we're sitting at 58. With your traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner, 630 KHOW.
Mattress Firm is collecting new clothes to help local foster kids look and feel their best. Join Mattress Firm in helping foster kids in your community by donating new clothes to a participating Mattress Firm store or donating online at mattressfirmfosterkids.org.
Excel Roofing is a company I can highly recommend. You may have some old damage, call them. But if anything happens these next few months, remember Excel Roofing. They may not come knocking at your door, but they will be the ones you want. First of all, they're never going to ask you to sign anything to look at your roof. You should never have to sign anything to look at your roof. That's a bunch of crap, these roofers that knock on the door. They're tricking you into a contract. Excel will never trick you into a contract. They will give you a complete contract when they're done examining and tell you everything you need, and if you like it, you sign it. They'll even help negotiate with your insurance adjuster because they know how to deal with insurance companies. But whether it's insurance pay or self-pay, call Excel. You will never have to put any money up front ever, and you will never have any penalty clauses in that contract because they know you want to stick with them and they don't want to force you. 303-761-6400, the only way to run a roofing company. ExcelRoofing.com. And look for Excel on my referral list at referralist.com. I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino. It's finally time for some spring cleaning, so let's get those back tax issues cleaned out once and for all. Feel the fresh spring breeze without the mental burden of a tax lien or the IRS knocking at your door. If you owe back taxes, been years since you filed, or you've been slapped with an audit, it's time to get relief. Larson Tax Relief. I know Ron and Jack Larson and can vouch for their professionalism, and they don't judge, but they do handle the IRS or state for you. Larson Larson Tax Relief. Their name says it all. Relief. I trust Ron and Jack Larson and their team of experts to get you the absolute best possible resolution. Get your issues cleaned up once and for all. 844 Larson Tax. Get your life back and those worries gone. LarsonTaxRelief.com or 844 Larson Tax. That's 844 LARSON Tax. Larson Tax Relief is the only tax relief organization I endorse on myreferralist.com.
If you want luxury granite or quartz countertops at wholesale prices, you need to call Art of Granite. When they remodel your kitchen, they'll do your bathroom vanity for free. Call them at 303-386-5919 or online at artofgranite.net.
Wesley had IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Coming after my house, my car. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
Wesley called Optima Tax Relief.
Oh, they were great people. Optima Tax. They know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-618-7989. 800-618-7989.
Hey, Mom, I got your message. Do you need me to come home early?
Hi, dear. We're all doing fine. The kids haven't slowed down all day, and thanks to Blue Emu, neither have I.
But I thought you said...
Well, I tried your father's Blue Emu Maximum Arthritis Relief Cream. It worked fast to relieve the pain in my achy muscles and joints.
Blue Emu, huh?
That's right, and it's odor-free.
Blue Emu Maximum Arthritis Relief. Beat the pain and enjoy life. Available at Walmart and Walgreens.
This is your wallet. This is $1,000 to make your wallet great again. Any questions? Of course you don't have questions. I was very clear, right?
Listen weekdays beginning at 6 a.m. to win $1,000. Every hour, on the hour. And make your wallet great again.
My wallet is always great. It's a Trump wallet. How could it not be great?
Text the keyword to win $1,000. Every hour, on the hour.
Believe me.
On 630 KHOW.
iHeartRadio is the easy-to-use app for music and radio. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
Michael Brown, afternoons 4 to 7.
So if Anka wasn't booed in Germany despite U.S. media saying otherwise, gee, the media lied about a Trump? What a surprise. Join me Monday at 4 o'clock for more Irreverent Talk Radio.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Okay, I want to go back to Mitch Floria. Hey, Mitch, you're a reasonable guy. I know that, and you're above all honest and ethical. I've known you for years now, and I love representing your company, Art of Granite. I want to ask you straight up: did he sounded pretty reasonable as far as soft granite? Have you heard of that 3cm and 2cm and all that stuff?
Well, 2 centimeters is basically 3/4 of an inch.
He's talking about centimeters. I didn't know he was talking about thickness. So would 2 centimeters to 3 centimeters make a difference?
Sometimes, yes, especially on a soft granite. The industry kind of shifted to 3 centimeters, which is 1.25 inches. It's a thicker, more solid stone. Customers like the thicker edges. If the customers do choose the 2 centimeter, maybe they got a good deal on a granite and all. Then we usually build up the edges. We laminate to a double thickness of 1.5 inches.
So what do you think, though? You heard him, and again, I don't want you to. I try not to get my people up against others directly. Yeah. I just want to know your gut, though, your feeling on fabrication on stone that is softer.
Well, I think the bottom line is when a customer reaches out to us for countertops, we try to show them our slabs or the slabs from the supplier. Very rarely they purchase their granite. Actually, the suppliers don't sell granite usually directly to homeowners.
Right.
Because we don't want the do-it-yourself project and get hurt with the weight and the size of the slabs.
So you wouldn't do it that way. You wouldn't do it if they bought.
No, usually not. But I think the bottom line is when you start working with a product and you notice that it's faulty, either granite or anything else, I think you need to stop and talk to the homeowner.
Right.
And just
he said he did. Hey, Mitch, if you looked at this granite, if we brought you a chunk of it, could you see if it's uncuttable?
Yes, of course. Yes.
Okay.
Some granite they call schist, where they have like a lot of mica in, and that flakes off and just shatters. Like you can almost like shatter with your fingers. And then because they apply this resin on, it makes them a little bit harder, but it's still very difficult to fabricate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Mitch, thank you very much. Art of Granite, again, artofgranite.net, 303-386-5919. Manuel, I don't get the impression that you're some kind of slick con artist here. I get the impression you're trying to do what's right. I
have been from the get-go.
Manuel, why didn't you talk to him, though? Why didn't you say to him, hey, man, it's 2 centimeters? Oh, go ahead.
That's what he wanted to go with because he got it for $240 a slab. That's beyond cheap.
Brad?
Yes.
Do you take some of the responsibility here for going to get cut rate stone?
Well, yes, but it wasn't cut rate. I got it from Daltile. I just happened to know somebody that worked
what do you mean it's not cut rate? I mean, yeah, it is. 2 centimeters. The industry's going to 3, and it's a softer granite.
Yeah, well, people still use it, and of course, it's called Via Latia. I checked with Daltile. I checked with independent people. They all said it's not because it's 2 centimeter, nor is this stone softer.
Okay, then let's get a piece of it. Let's get a piece of it and get it checked. We'll get it checked. Okay, that's what we're going to do. We're going to stop here and get it checked. But Manuel made you an offer you have to think about. He would fabricate and install the next kitchen free. So all you pay for is the granite. So you may want Manuel to try to buy that granite. Maybe he'd buy it for you wholesale. Let's see what we can work out, Brad. But Mark, Suzanne, let's get the stone. I truly want to test the stone.
Yeah, we'll get it over to Mitch.
All right, now we got to keep going here. Oh, my goodness, we're running out of time. John, I know a little bit about what's going on with you. It happened to me. Go ahead. John.
Yeah, hold on. Sorry about that.
No problem, sir. We're not going to be able to finish in this hour, but I know what's happening with you. It's happened to me.
Yeah, basically, an oil company came to us after we purchased some land and basically told us not so gently that they were going to come on.
I'll tell you what. Hold on. I know what you're talking about. I want to tell you about Plumline, folks. Plumline Services. Right now, for $39, get a comprehensive furnace check and tune-up. Comprehensive fuses, motors, connections, contacts, capacitors, all of the refrigerant. They'll check the thermostats. They'll install filters. Everything. $39. Get this system completely checked out with a no breakdown guarantee for the cooling system. Do it now before the heat comes. Plumline Services for all your plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. 303-586-1086. 303-586-1086. Stick around for more on the Troubleshooter Show. That's PlumlineServices.com. Now, we'll come back to this oil company thing. They have easements and they have mineral rights. What are they allowed to do? We'll talk about it. But they can, in many cases, come on your property. It'll shock you.
I might jump back in BAC. What's that, Mark? Oh. I'm looking at different airlines, too. I really like the way Southwest boards. I might have to buy some of their stock.
They just went down, too. Southwest just went down. They missed their earnings, which they hardly ever miss.
Who's this guy, this photo with the neck tattoos on our...
Where is he?
On our Facebook.
He's the child molester that builds shitty fences.
Yeah. Was it contractor fence?
Yeah. I pulled a background check on him and bam.
Accurate Cut Construction.
Yep, Accurate Cut. Yeah. He did a lot of time in the pen, man.
Is there something wrong with neck tattoos?
One guy told me one time I never...
Shut up, you mother.
I never had a good deal with a guy with a neck tattoo. It never works out. And I'll be damned if I think the guy was right.
How about a face tattoo? A couple little teardrops coming down.
Oh, yeah, that always says do business with me.
Maybe a spider on this.
Nothing says quality work like a face tattoo.
Mark, I'll bet you watch House of Cards, you'll get into it. That is a very, I never thought, when I heard about it, I'd ever like it.
What is that?
House of Cards.
Oh my God! Oh my God! You got to watch it from the beginning.
Yeah,
I have
I'll
never.
have to.
I will say I've never seen a better written story.
So realistic.
Trump said he would not be happy if the North conducts a nuclear test.
Oh my
Made
God!
comment on CBS Face the Nation and did not elaborate. Mark Woolsey, NBC News Radio.
The Treasury Secretary is defending President Trump's tax reform proposal.
Now, The Walking Dead, I haven't been able to get into that.
The plan aims to simplify the federal.
I like The Walking Dead.
Really?
Yep.
So I got a question
This season
on
this year, or this time was great.
So I got a question. These guys can't use their head and everything. They just can walk and they want to eat something.
Yeah.
They're walking miles and miles.
Never stop. Even if they're down, they still crawl.
So
I heard.
why aren't their shoes wearing out?
Do you watch it, Mark?
Most of them
No,
don't have
they don't
shoes.
even have shoes.
What?
They don't have shoes.
Yeah, I do. I like it. I won't say I'm super hooked on it like I was the first few seasons, but this season's really good.
Really?
They got a crazy guy in there that has a baseball bat. He calls Lucille.
Mark, is it really that good?
Yeah, it's good. This season's good.
But do people ever win? Do they have wins? I don't like series where everything is just a loss, a loss, a loss, a loss. They're just fucked everywhere you look. But do they ever
These
have
guys are
victory?
pretty much fucked all the time.
They don't have victory ever.
Well, no,
They have individual victories where they escape some death-defying tragedy.
So are they, if they don't have shoes now, they're wearing down to no feet?
Here's what they do. This one girl, a couple episodes or a couple seasons ago, took their mouth out so they have no teeth, and then basically holds them like bodyguards, connects them, and walks them around. It's pretty wild, man.
Whoa.
And then if you cut their arms off, and then you cut their mouth out, they really can't hurt you.
So they're kind of like a pet.
Well, kinda. But they help her. I think she's dead now, I forget. But this guy carries around a bat called Lucille, and he splits open the brains of the good guys.
Oh, they're good?
Yeah, he's a bad guy, but he's not a zombie.
He's a zombie.
No, he's not a zombie.
Oh, okay.
No, zombies can't. All zombies do is eat.
Help me get my feet back on the ground. Won't you please?
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. We are fighting for you. Be looking for a new referralist.com coming out soon. And then soon we will have a bunch of different things happening online. The forefront of what's happening online. 4 different websites for all of your specific needs. It's going to be wonderful. We're working really hard with Velvet Media. We're also doing some other stuff with other companies. And we can't wait to unveil it all. 303-713-8255. We urge you to go to Facebook, look at our latest story, summarizing Springs Auto and Truck Service Center.
You got to stir the pot with them. Every time I hear that, my blood boils.
Yeah. And then we also want to bring up Bentley Baths. We'll be reporting on them. I got so pissed off at the walk-in bath industry that I decided I'm starting a business to do walk-in baths at severe discounts to show these idiots how it's done. I'm serious. We can't see how they justify prices of $15,000 or more. We can't even fathom it. And this guy is terrible.
To the point where I almost think maybe we're missing something.
Bentley's not the only one that charges a lot. And we're not after Bentley for the price, by the way. Everybody charges a lot. But like Mark says, we don't know why they charge so much. Maybe there's something we're missing. And I'll hold that out as a possibility. There might be something we're missing because we priced out all the elements.
Bentley's big issue is they sold a 350-pound woman a bathtub she literally doesn't fit in.
She can't get through the door. She has the same problem as any tub. She has to climb over it. She can't get in it.
And she's got a bum leg, and it's 8 inches off the ground. It's just everything they could have done wrong, they did wrong.
We also had a problem just recently, last hour, on granite, 2 centimeter granite, soft granite. The guy says can't be fabricated without cracking around the sink, and he's upset. I mean, the consumer's upset, and so is the granite guy. He said, I did the best I could. and the guy has cheap granite. What I'm going to do is I'll redo the next kitchen free, the labor, fabrication and installation, but he has to buy 3-centimeter granite. George has a comment on that. That's the only reason I'm recapping that one. Go ahead, George.
Good morning, or afternoon, actually. Listen, I was really curious about this, so I looked it up, and I just sent Mark an email on this for my research. There really is no reason why 2-centimeter granite can't be used. In fact, in many ways, it's preferable. It creates additional flexibility.
If it's hard.
No, they don't mention. Listen, I'm not a professional in this, but from my research over and over again, I'm seeing that there's absolutely no reason not to go with 2 centimeters as long as it has a plywood substrate. And I don't know whether in this case it did.
Well, we'll know as soon as it gets over to Mitch. I mean, we're going to test this granite out, George.
Well, I'm not talking about, I said the substrate. It's not about testing the granite.
George, I understand what you're saying, the support. I understand. Here's the deal, okay? We're not saying that it's not plenty strong. We're talking about when you start grinding on it, is there enough material there, given a particular hardness and strength, to keep it from cracking? There seems to be a combination. I don't know what it is, but there seems to be a combination of hardness and thickness that is detrimental. And again, I don't know what that is.
Right. So here's the other
I mean, there are plenty of people, George. There are plenty of people with 2-centimeter granite that have no cracking. Go ahead.
Right. So I don't have any dog in this fight or anything else or any preference one way or the other. But I will say, because I used to be in the construction industry, and I'm not dealing with granite specifically, although I've installed that stuff in the past, that if a homeowner came to me with a product to install, I wouldn't touch it unless I had absolute confidence in that particular product.
You got it.
And because then I'm taking, once I say, yes, I will work with the product that you're supplying, I am basically accepting that risk.
Got it.
At that point. Now, it's not, I'm not saying warranting it or something like that, but if I'm saying this meets my standard to do the job that you're hiring me to do, then it's on me at that point.
I get you, Ben, and I know what you're saying. Here's the point. The guy's trying to be good about it. He's trying to do the right thing, but I think we're going to get to the bottom of it. We're going to have the granite checked just to see if it is a problem granite. Now, Carmen has a problem with a dentist. Go ahead, Carmen. What's happening?
Hi, Tom. Thanks for taking my call.
Yes. What's happening?
Well, the bottom line is a former dentist placed around a dozen crowns that were too big and clunky, and which threw my bite off. This has caused many problems over the years.
How do you know?
Jaw pain.
How do you know they did it wrong?
Well, because I had severe jaw pain, and that dentist knows that.
Did you get any other professional opinions?
Yes, I did. I've got several professional opinions from different dentists.
And what do they say?
Their crowns are awful. They're very big. They're big and clunky.
They don't match your mouth.
No.
So as a result of your bite being off, what else happened?
Well, by December 2015, I could no longer close my mouth properly. And so the bottom line on that was I finally went to another dentist just to seek someone else's help because I wasn't satisfied at the other one. So when the original dentist apparently couldn't resolve my latest problem because I simply had enough, I got tired of having to deal with.
Okay, but where do we stand today? How can we help you?
Well, the problem is the new dentist I went to looked at the crowns, said, oh, they're big. Yes, they need to be ground down because I said I can't close my mouth. It's hurting my jaws. He proceeded to grind them down over the next 6 months. It took 12 visits. And over that time, he only took initial x-rays, but he never ever took impressions or x-rays again. And the bottom line of all this is the crowns, my mouth is totally off now because it went to the opposite problem from where I couldn't close it to now it overcloses.
Okay, I get it. So you're telling me you went to 2 incompetent dentists?
Yes.
Well, here's the deal. The second guy I feel sorry for because he's trying to fix a mess of the first guy.
Yes.
And the first guy is the one who's ultimately responsible. or is it the second guy? I mean, who do you want to go after? Because I don't think you have a case against either one of them because you didn't do it properly, in my opinion. You had the second guy screw it up.
Well...
How many crowns do you have, Carmen?
I have most of my mouth is crowned all except 6 teeth.
Okay. Okay. So what do you want right now? I just need to know what you're looking for.
Well, the second dentist only charged me $208. You know, it was like just a few minutes.
$208 each time, or for the whole thing?
No, just for the whole thing.
Over 10 months? Did you? How many months?
Over about 6 or 7 months.
He charged you only $200 over 6 or 7 months. So, wow. So we're talking about an office visit of $28 each time.
Mm-hmm. Well, Tom, the thing that I'm trying to get at here is I had to leave my original dentist because I couldn't close my mouth anymore, and they weren't helping me.
So what do you
then
want?
I went to the next one, and he ground them down too much.
So
now
what do you want? You're telling me a story, and I've heard this story. Now, what do you want? That's a very simple question. What do you want?
What I want is I'm now to fix my bite because my bite is 3 to 4 centimeters off. I ended up with a neuromuscular dentist in Monument who's trying to fix my bite, and he has to replace all my bottom teeth, every last one of them.
What do you mean replace them? With implants?
He has to replace the old crowns that were ground down too much. They're huge crowns, and he's going to redo. He's going to crown all the rest of.
And how much is that costing?
$12,000.
Okay, now, but here's the problem. The second guy was only trying to fix what the first guy screwed up.
Yes, but he overdid it.
And how much did the first guy charge you?
Oh my gosh, we paid at least $12,000
to the first guy
over the years. Yes.
And how much is he offering to refund you?
Well, he's offering to refund me $5,500.
Okay, so now what about the second guy? Is he willing to do anything?
No, he says he didn't do anything that warrants even the return of my $208.
Well, here's the thing. He probably didn't. I don't know. Hold on a second. Just hold on. I want to bring up Dr. Kent Lawson, who has nothing to do with this. He's with Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ. And let me just tell you about them. These guys are spectacular because they do teeth straightening and stuff without surgery. They do palate widening for children and adults. And with adults, it's spectacular what they've developed. But I only say that because I know he's an expert at bite and alignment because he helps a lot of people with the apnea problem by straightening their teeth and with TMJ. So that's the reason I have him on to give me an opinion. So, Dr. Lawson, I have some simple questions first and foremost. When a mouth has a mouthful of crowns, can that ruin a bite?
Well, it absolutely can. And I think I know what the issue is here. That now the first dentist you was talking about with the oversized crowns, that is probably a judgment call as far as whether they're oversized or not. Now, it sounds like they propped her bite open a little bit, and that could cause a disruption in the temporomandibular joints or TMJ. And the second dentist that did the grinding was trying to do a procedure called equilibration. And that means if a bite is off and one side hits first before the other, and sometimes one tooth hits before the other.
Right.
You have to equalize that. So
right.
That's that equilibration.
Yeah.
But the problem with that can be, which is what I think has occurred with her, because I read some of her statement before, is that you can overclose. That causes potentially the jaw to go more retrusive or back, let's say, towards your neck.
But are they both bad, over and under?
Well, yeah, it certainly can be. What you want is, I mean, she mentioned neuromuscular dentist. That is, that's the philosophy that I believe in because you take into consideration the muscles and how they act.
And do you think that in a case like this that it will be necessary to replace all those bottom crowns or teeth?
Well, very possibly. We do it more with an orthodontic approach, but it's still, if she's got crowns on all of those teeth, the potential is that they would need to be replaced in order to have the jaw put in a more balanced position. That's very true.
Okay. In your opinion, when you're trying to adjust them, is it possible that you can overdo it?
Yes,
Okay.
That's exactly my point.
So the problem here, and not knowing either dentist, and I'm glad you don't because I'm not asking, to you slam anybody, and you will never do that. I just need to ask a professional opinion here. You're saying those larger crowns probably were not that bad? I mean, they're not, are you saying that that's a matter of opinion in many cases?
Well, yes. I mean, I think what she's saying is that the crowns were built up too high, and that then could be a problem. She said that they're too large. That, I'm not sure that's really a valid
Carmen,
thing.
did you mean they were too high?
They were too big and too clunky. So
I don't know what that
tight.
means, Carmen. Were they too wide or too tall?
They were too tall.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Also too wide.
Well,
and I can hardly floss. I mean, they're really tight.
Okay. Bottom line here is you're going to have $12,000 in damages. And how do you know this doctor can do a good job?
Well, he has a great reputation.
Okay.
I'm doing him like I did the others.
Okay, so you have $12,000 and you're getting back $5,500.
Yeah.
So it's going to leave you with a $6,500 bill.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say, Carmen, I'm just going to tell you my God's honest opinion, and I think Kent will tell you this too. You're going to go nowhere with a malpractice suit without spending at least $20,000 in just expenses. Now that's not that even if you go, but I don't even see you getting an attorney to take it because the maximum damage you have here is $6,500. I mean, I don't see any attorney in his right mind taking this case ever. And then if you're talking about doing a lawsuit, you're nuts. I mean, it'll never happen. It'll never, ever happen. I do know this, though. I do know that dentists hate complaints against their malpractice, but I'm not so sure it is malpractice that he ground him down. Did he do such a horrific job grinding him down that he overdid it?
Well, my condyles are flattened, and they weren't flattened before, so yeah, I guess so.
Well, that's not your opinion. You got to get a dentist to say it is malpractice. Yeah. I mean malpractice, not just a bad job or you went a little too far, but malpractice. Carmen, you probably should smile when you get that $5,500 back. Thank goodness the second dentist didn't charge you that much, and be done with it. If you can get it done for $12,000, you're going to be out $6,500. I mean, my gut feeling is, had you gone in originally, it sounds like you had bad oral health. The whole thing probably would have cost you more anyway in the beginning, had you done it the right way. I'm just thinking, I can't help you go after this dentist for $6,500. There's just too many variables here. But I do want to tell you.
Actually, Tom, the second dentist who ground down my crown.
Yeah.
I don't want 65. I just want my $208 back.
Well, he's an idiot. If he doesn't, hold on a second. If he doesn't give you back that $200, he is a complete moron. A complete moron for that. But what the heck? He's probably figuring he did so much work for that, it's not worth it. Now, I didn't ask these dentist names on purpose because I don't think they're terrible. Orthodontics, and he has us on a very good low monthly payment plan. It's unbelievable. I can't believe it. Anyway, he's at 303-690-0100, 303-690-0100 for adults and children. I'll tell you, Brent Ivinson, Ideal Home Loans. Right now, Brent, man, it's anyone's guess as to what's going to happen in the mortgage market. That's why I'm always happy that you have the interest rate guarantee. It's a wonderful thing to have, by the way. So anybody who refinances, if it goes down, he'll do it free of charge. He'll refinance you in the next 2 years. So virtually every time you do it, you get a new 2-year guarantee. But let's talk about credit card consolidation, because the rates are pretty low right now.
Well, they are. You know, we still have 30-year fixed rates below 4%.
That's
so
still
it's
good.
Really the perfect scenario. Rates are low. Equity is up. Get rid of that credit card debt. I know it's keeping a lot of people up at night. A lot of people are worried. They see that they're making payments and going nowhere. We can not only get you to get ahead by paying that off, we can oftentimes pay your home off more quickly, have you saving money each and every month along the way, and paying off your credit card. So you really get the best of all worlds. Pay the mortgage off more quickly, get out of debt, and save along the way.
And then, of course, with that extra savings, you're advocating that they pay off the credit card part of their mortgage quickly, so they're not financing their washing machine over 30 years. I know that you counsel them on that. And Brent, so are there 15 years available? What's the rate on a 15-year right now?
There are. You know, the 15-year mortgage is a fantastic option right now. You're looking at rates on those in the low 3s. It is a great opportunity to get ahead. With rates doing what they're doing right now, this is the time to set yourself up long-term for your financial future, and that's taking advantage of rates when they drop like this.
Brent Ivinson, Ideal Home Loans. For your next Ideal Home Loan, 303-867-7000, 303-867-7000, or idealhomeloans.com. By the way, if you're looking for real estate, I should mention Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Frank Duran, from Colorado Springs to Fort Collins, he's the man to go to. I've never met anyone more attentive to his clients, and I don't think I get this many positive reviews about all my clients put together compared to Frank's in a month. 303-920-1622.
From the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic Center.
This report is brought to you by Discover Student Loans.
There's a couple of slow spots in the Highway Drive in the metro area, westbound I-70. A bit stop and go on the approach to Vasquez back.
And I think John Lord's still coming in.
So that's the only one we have. Didn't he recommend the other guy? And why did he quit?
He just emailed me 2 minutes ago, said I got called out of town for tomorrow. Is it possible to call in?
Otherwise, the freeway system in good shape across.
Should we reschedule the whole damn thing? No, you love it enough to do it, John. Does John seem knowledgeable to you?
I haven't spoke with John. I've only emailed with him.
Which one's he?
He's the insurance one, right?
Yeah, not just insurance. I mean, he does a lot.
With the drones? Oh, I thought he just was real knowledgeable in the insurance.
I don't know. What do you think, Mark?
I'd redo it.
You're just reschedule. How much have we pushed it?
No, we haven't pushed it at all.
.com to apply today. Limitations apply.
Let's get some couples. Let's get some enthusiasts in here.
Get some what?
You know, more enthusiasts in here. You, this guy, Lord, and one more. We need another one. I don't want the guy that calls in. What will he call in?
He works for Jupiter Unmanned. I'm not real sure what that company does. John Lord recommended him to be on.
Well, sounds like a.
Let's look it up.
Jupiter on Demand?
Jupiter Unmanned.
Do handle the IRS or state for you. Larson Tax Relief. Their name says it all. Believe. I trust Ron and Jack Larson.
It should be called On Person.
Oh, maybe it's Juniper. Maybe I missed it.
Yeah, it's Juniper.
844 Larson Tax. Get your life back. And those worries.
Yeah, that's really good.
Tax Relief.
What is it?
It's Juniper Unmanned.
That's 844L.
Yeah, you know what?
SON Tax.
If he can call it, I wouldn't mind.
The only tax relief organization.
So keep John Lord and have Jeff Kozart call in if he's available.
Yeah, maybe once an hour.
And I'll yell and scream how we should be able to fly drones everywhere.
Mark loves the drone. But Mark, you're such a moron when it comes to that.
Yeah, Mark.
Mark's trying to light a fire, so he'll do it tomorrow.
I'll fly it anyway.
Mark's a shit stirrer.
We'll take
He
it out.
stirs the shit.
We'll fly it out right over the highway tomorrow.
I love it. Hey, we can do it on Facebook Live. Take the feed. You'll be in here. Oh my God. What? All right, you got to go to Paradigm Interiors for their spring sale right now. Paradigm, you've been hearing me talk about Paradigm with floor coverings. If you're looking for floor coverings, there is no reason you shouldn't call. You need to call Paradigm. They have the best selection along with the best pricing and the best way of doing business, which means They will give you all the personalized attention of a mom and pop shop, but the selection and pricing
of the big guys, all first quality flooring, hardwoods, laminates, luxury vinyl tile. You gotta look at that stuff. It's unbelievable. Along with even waterproof carpeting. That's right, waterproof from Shaw Industries, plus all the conventional carpeting. And look for their special spring promotions. Too numerous to mention. You pick the deal, and they'll give you the steal. 303-630-9204. Now, they're on Evans, just west of Santa Fe. If you're thinking spring, summer, renewal, floor coverings are a primary part of your life, and they cover them all. No pun intended. Owners Don and Matt in business 14 years, locally owned and operated. You'll love them. Paradigm Interiors, 303-630-9204, 630-9204. Hey, I hope you never need Wink and Wink bankruptcy attorneys. Man, so many people are calling us now, Mark. Still, I didn't know there were still people underwater in their homes. Very few, but there are some. And they're not getting out from under it. Winkandwink.com, 303-410-1720, 410-1720. Let's talk about that granite call again really quickly. Roy has a comment on the guy who said it was soft and it was only 2 centimeters, and he wasn't able to fabricate it without cracking, and he just said it's not his fault. Go ahead, Roy.
Tom, I've been working in that industry since 2002, fabricating and stuff. There's definitely density difference between one granite and another, but the manufacturers of the granites on the 2cm prefab type stuff, they back all of the granite with a fiberglass and resin base to help prevent them from cracking. And the most important thing on the install is actually the cabinet installer to get the cabinets dead on level. It's very, very important because you've got an 8 or 9 foot span of granite, and if you're off by a 16th, 18th of an inch over one cabinet, you end up spanning, causing the granite to have, especially if your granite's got to make a turn, it ends up, setting you up to have the granite crack where it's not being supported properly.
So what do you think about this guy's comments in a nutshell?
I didn't hear the comment, but I heard the second one. The granite's not going to crack because it's soft and you're cutting it. It's being cracked because you're not handling it properly.
Well, hold on. No. You can't say that. You can't say it's not going to be cracked when fabricating.
No, it will crack with fabrication, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's any of the softer, the granites with more motion in it, the color striations, lends it to cracking because that's imperfections in the harder parts of the granite. So when I say it's not going to crack, yes, it could crack. I have never since 2002 had any granite crack. It's just a matter of being careful when you're dealing with glass plates, for example. If you're dealing with a thin glass versus a thicker glass, you can be a little tougher with something that is more resilient.
This particular guy, and I'm hearing you, we heard you, this guy basically says it's not his fault. Mark, what do you think?
I can't wait to get a report back from Mitch and find out. I don't have an opinion on this right now.
Until we see get that granite tested.
Yep.
All right. Now, this is a terrible story, but John, I'm sorry for not going back to you. Carolyn has a terrible story I'm going to get to in a minute. John, I'm so sorry I didn't get back to you. And we had so many things going on with this granite call and that other stuff. But here's the deal. Do you know if the company who's going after the minerals, do they have mineral rights?
Yeah, they do.
Okay. Now, if they have mineral rights, they do not need surface rights to access your property. Okay?
No, and I understand all that. I wanted to warn people. This is not something that the title company will ever tell you, or...
Well, actually, they should. And that's what I was going to ask you, because you may have recourse if you were never warned and never given the disclosure that there were mineral rights that people held under your property.
No, we were given that.
Okay.
We were told that we didn't, we understood that. It was...
Then what part do you want to warn them about?
It's that they have what's called drill windows that were established, a long time ago, and essentially if that drill window is located on your land, and they can prove that it's the only place that they can drill in that section, they can come on your land with minimal, payment, I guess.
No, hardly any payment. It's a joke.
Yeah, it's loss of what the land was used for. So, and our land that we bought hadn't been used in 10 years.
So but let me ask you something. What I find odd, is this oil they're going after?
Yes. Yeah, 13 wells. It's 13 wells.
I don't understand why this is happening, because you're not the only one this is happening to. Why this is happening now with the oil prices at their lowest?
Well, the company that came on, and I don't want to say who it is because we worked out a deal.
Go ahead.
But they specialize in working close to towns. Our land is just right outside of a town up here in Weld County.
Okay.
They specialize in working around communities, next to schools.
I understand, but why now with oil prices the way they are? That's the question I had.
They just went public beforehand. They had purchased, or somebody had purchased the oil at a certain amount, 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
John, okay, I understand that. It doesn't matter. It's still not worth going after the oil right now. It just...
Yeah, the way they explained it, they did 4 sections in a row, so it's... when they frack, they wanted to frack all 4 of them. And
okay, I don't need... listen, I'm sorry to cut. I don't really need to know all this. Okay, bottom line is, it takes a certain amount of money to get oil out of the ground, and they can't get that on the market. I don't understand, Mark. I am baffled by it.
I don't know.
I'm baffled by it.
We need no more reserves, that's for sure.
No. What I need to know is we need to get a gas and oil expert, honest to God, on the show. We used to have one in our pocket who could come on and explain it. All right, I got to take this break. I'm telling you, we're running behind, and I'm sorry. We've been very, very busy. We will continue this. I want to tell you, though, right now about one of my favorite auto repair facilities and maintenance facilities, and that's Pro Auto Care. Why? Because I take my car there, and I love the way Al Aramis takes care of you. I call him the car nanny. That's a little joke because they keep track of your car maintenance. Dads used to do that for the family. I used to have a spreadsheet. I keep track of my cars and for my wife and stuff, and this is what we get done when we get it done. Now Al does all that. You get a gentle reminder, email or text, whatever you want. Also, you get roadside assistance with every single service. So no matter what you have done, for the next 36,000 miles of 3 years, you're covered roadside. I used roadside assistance, never thought I'd need it. I was in limp mode. They told me how to get my car up and running and get back, and took care of me on the road, and then took care of me right away at the place. You will love the attention they give you at 2 locations, near Evans and I-25 near Bowles and Santa Fe. Give them a call for all of their specials as well, with new customer specials. Call them, 303-PRO-AUTO, 303-PRO-AUTO, the website 303-PROAuto.com.
This report is brought to you by LifeLock.
The highway drive in the metro area looking good. Off-highway, well, a bit of...
Here's a slew of crashes. Watch out for one wreck on the southbound side of Wadsworth at first. That's got traffic backed up to 6th. Another crash on Wadsworth.
And then concrete lit next break.
Cleared at Parker in Mississippi on the southbound side of Parker. Westbound Colfax under 225. Crews are on the scene of a crash there. 2 other off-highway crashes, one Alameda and Peoria, one Dartmouth and Havana. The weather forecast, a mixture of clouds and sun today with a high of 62. Tonight, partly cloudy and 36 for the low. Right now, cloudy and 57 in Denver. With your traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner, 630 KHOW.
Do you use public Wi-Fi? That increases your chance of identity theft. One reason you need LifeLock. Free credit monitoring may show changes to your credit. LifeLock's U.S.-based team helps resolve identity theft issues. Sign up fast at LifeLock.com. Use promo code RISK to save 10%.
Some moments you remember with absolute clarity, like driving away in a brand new Lincoln MKC during the Road to Riches promotion at Monarch Casino Blackhawk this May. Enter to win your share of cash prizes or even a brand new car. Your odds are better when you have.
Talk Radio 630 KHOW. Online, on demand, and streaming live now at KHOW.com.
An iHeartRadio station.
You know, I'll never forget the call I got. There was a garage door that came down, and you know how it's supposed to reverse when it hits something? It didn't. I don't even want to tell you what happened. It was a pet. They wanted to know if they had any recourse. By the way, if you want to keep that garage door running so it never happens like that again, just don't forget. One Clear Choice Garage Doors. They'll come out and inspect, safety inspect, lubricate, and do everything for your garage doors free of charge. That's right, lubrication, hinge tightening, and safety checks free, just so they can put their sticker on there for when you need them. And if ever you need them, give them a call, 303-565-6409. OneClearChoiceDoors.com is their website with all their prices disclosed. And so this person calls John Fuller and says, what can I do about it? Now, John Fuller does personal injury. And the thing about the dog, that's personal property. And a lot of people get that confused. Like, what happens to my car? What happens with my problems? Now, John Fuller gives you great advice when you're a client of his. But he specializes in going after the lost wages, the lost vacation time, the pain and suffering, the depression. Yeah, we put prices on that in America. It's called our form of justice when you are injured. It's called personal injury law, and John Fuller does this for you. He puts a price on your case and then fights for you. And he looks for money with insurance companies or maybe with other people that may be responsible. That's why you hire people like that. JohnRFuller.com has a bunch of information on personal injury, or you can call him for a free consultation. And if he takes your case, it's based on a contingency of what he collects. John Fuller. We know him. We refer all of the people that we know to him. 303-597-4500. 303-597-4500. Now remember the name. So when something happens, you don't have to think about it. That's the worst time to think. 303-597-4500. John Fuller. Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. Okay, Steve, you have another comment on granite? Man, we get a lot of comments on this granite stuff. Go ahead, Steve.
Hi, Tom.
Hey, man.
This is the classic case, isn't it? You've got a consumer who's trying to do, I'm not going to say on the cheap, he's trying to do the
You're right. You're right.
Okay, so he pays for what he gets. I mean, the analogy I was going to use, it's probably not a very good one, is that my wife and I collect gemstones, and then we have to go have them cut. Well, you can throw it out the window. I mean, there's no guarantee when you bring a stone in. I mean, the consumer paid wholesale or less, and he got what he wants. Now, it's not just on him. Look at the fabricator and the installer. He took the job because, and I hate to use the word desperate, but he took the job because those are the type of jobs that he likes to get his niche in. So, you know, you get what you pay for. The guy...
In other words, you're saying they both deserve each other.
There you go.
I mean, that's really what you're saying, Steve. They both deserve each other. You know, you go to buy something cheap, it backfires on you, and you want work so bad, you take it even when the guy brings his own stuff. Like, it's absolutely correct. You're right. I want the people that I hire to be responsible in all phases. I don't want to buy materials and have somebody install, unless I just pay people by the hour and don't hold them responsible. But thank you, Steve, for that comment. 303-713-8255. Mike's got a question on workers' comp. Go ahead, Mike.
Hi, Tom.
Hey.
Yeah, I was injured September of 2016. I've been off work ever since. and I'm being.
Did you
made to
put?
go
Did
back.
you now? Did you file a case?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It was filed and everything, legal beagle.
Okay.
And but they're making me go back to work tomorrow.
Well, they're not making it.
And-
What they're saying is you're at maximum medical improvement.
Well, it's permanent disability. It's permanent.
But they're saying maximum medical improvement with what percentage of disability?
I don't know. They haven't claimed that yet. I'm only allowed to lift 20 pounds to my waist.
So are they willing to put up with those limitations?
Oh yeah. Well, they're putting me in the shop, but my question is,
Sure.
when I go back, they're going to want me to sign like a new contract.
Well, what kind of contract were you under before, Mike?
Just the regular when I got hired.
Well, I don't.
4 years ago.
Most people don't sign contracts. That's why I'm asking. What kind of contract?
It's a workman's comp contract.
No, there is
I
no
guess.
such thing. No one signs a workers' contract.
Okay, I didn't sign no contract before. I was just hired and had to go do
Okay,
their-
so what do you mean they want you to sign a new contract? I've never heard of such a thing.
They want me to sign a piece of paper saying that they're going to pay me a way less amount. And that it's
I get it.
And it's temporary work.
Okay, I see what they're doing. Well,
but I was full time.
Yeah, so what's the problem now? You don't want to sign it?
I don't know. Should I?
Well,
That's
here's
what
the
I'm
deal.
asking.
That's interesting, Mike, because here's the deal. Interestingly enough, they don't have to keep your job open, okay? So
Right. I've already lost that position that I had.
So really, it's it's really not about workers' comp. It's about going back to work for them under new conditions. Are you willing to accept them or not? If not, don't sign it. It's that easy. See, they don't have to give you a job, but what they're saying is they don't want to hire you back and then have you start claiming stuff like seniority or certain pay, saying, hey, I got it before. They just want to make sure that you know, they want to put it in writing and clarify that you know it's not the same type of job. And I understand that, but that's really up to you.
I just want to make sure there's no legality.
Well, I don't know what it says, Mike. See, if you're saying that you release them from all future claims, you may not want to do that. See, you may want to have an attorney look that over. We do have an employment attorney that we would be happy to have him look at it for you, Sean Olson.
I think I'm going to call this John Fuller because
John Fuller. No, that's personal injury. You should call Sean Olson for a quick. He would do a quick talk to you and probably not charge you. And then if you need to meet with him, he probably could do that and review that contract in a half hour. It's the Olson. It's the Olson law firm. He specifically does employment law. He's on a referral list. He's a great guy.
All right,
Let me
I
give
need
you
a
the number
lawyer.
here. Let me give you that number.
Okay.
Because that's what he does. This is specifically what he does. He does employment law. And it is 303-586-7297.
586-7297.
Yep, and that's 303. That's Sean Olson. He's a great guy. So he'll answer all of your questions. Now, I purposely waited for this so I could give her some time. And Carolyn, this is a terrible story. Your son died, and you're saying it's as a result of a compounding pharmacy doing an improper formulation. Is that right?
That's what I believe, yes.
Okay, your son was how old?
He was 7 when he was overdosed by Good Day Pharmacy.
My God.
And
Now,
he was
okay.
8 when he died.
Okay. Now, so for a year, Good Day Pharmacy, you're saying was overdosing him. But what do you mean by that?
Well, no. It was only the second bottle we had gotten there.
Okay.
The first bottle was made correctly, I assume.
Okay.
By
Was this overdose done more than once?
No, just one time.
At one time, meaning one dose or several?
Dose.
One dose, one time.
Yeah, it was 1,000 times. I do believe my son has the second highest overdose record in the country.
It was 1,000 times for what? Over? Did they do this? Did they readily admit they made this mistake?
Well, they have, sort of, yes. I mean, they've told the lawyers that they made the mistake, and, you know, Vicky Einhelig.
Well, I don't need names. I don't need names. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. No one knows. No one cares. So this pharmacy offered a settlement. Is that right?
Yes, they did.
Okay. Now, you decided you didn't want that settlement. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. And you're calling today, and by the way, I have no comment on that settlement whatsoever, whether you should take it or shouldn't take it. I believe you should have someone else review this case, though, because whenever you're unhappy, you should have another attorney review it. Did you fire this attorney, this law firm?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Because you feel they're not doing an adequate job?
Actually, I did all of it.
Okay.
And you know, and to be honest, it's pretty easy to deal with Good Day Pharmacy and their law firm. You know, it would be.
Why don't you just take it from here then? Seriously, if you did all of it and you managed to get this offer, this initial offer, why don't you just resume negotiations yourself?
I have.
Okay, then what is the call about today with me?
Well, I just don't feel like I should have to give up my freedom of speech.
What do you mean by giving up freedom of speech? What do you mean?
Well, you know, I don't want this to ever happen to another child again.
Okay, so what does that mean? Are they asking you, somebody asking you to sign a confidentiality agreement?
Yes, they are.
Who is this?
Lassiter Martin and Good Day Pharmacy.
Okay, they're asking you. That is not uncommon in cases like these. Not uncommon.
Yes, that's what John Fuller told me.
Okay, and John Fuller, you called to ask?
Yes, I did on the weekend, too, and he was so kind to call me back.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Listen, I just want to tell you, though, it's not uncommon, Carol, and that's got to be a personal decision of yours.
That's fine. I understand that because there's been many children that have been overdosed by clonidine across the country for many years. Over 10 years, yes. Aaliyah Skiffington, you know, a little baby,
what is that?
old.
I want to know, what is that taken for, that medicine?
You know, the little baby in New York had an aortic problem.
But what was your son taking it for?
My son was taking it for sensory processing disorder. It's actually a really, you know, mild condition that kids outgrow, usually between 8 and 10 years old.
Oh, my God. Hold on a second. Just hold on. We'll come right back to you. Now, I'm proud to talk about our new sponsor here. This guy is just a good guy, okay? Concrete lift and stabilization. He has a way of leveling your concrete from shifting, cracking, sinking, and heaving. They're all signs of trouble, okay? He will come out and he will do an analysis and then suggest the proper material, okay? Because originally what happens is ground settling or improper materials or installation. Tearing out and replacing it can be very expensive. What concrete lift and stabilization does is he will look at it, Devin Johns, he'll look at it, and he'll recommend either mud jacking, which is a concrete to fill the voids, or a poly jacking, which is a plastic polymer. They each have advantages and disadvantages. Concrete lift and stabilization is the only Denver company to offer both of these methods. So he's not going to steer you one way or another. He's going to show you what is best. The other companies cannot do that. Okay? Concrete lift and stabilization will do a complete evaluation of the area, diagnose the problem, and give you a firm price. And that is free of charge. So you call him and you get that diagnosis and you get a firm price. And there is no charge for that estimate. Satisfaction is guaranteed. Whether you have a slab, a parking lot, sidewalks, or any flat work, here's how you're going to message him. It's really fun. On a smartphone, pound 250. Pound 250. And then send. That is a phone call. And when they answer, you say concrete lift. Okay, that's all you have to remember. Pound 250. Then there's an automatic answering, and you say, concrete lift. What will happen is you'll have the option to receive an automatic text message from iHeartMedia with all of the contact information for concrete lift and stabilization. Just hit pound and then 250 send, and then say the words when they answer concrete lift. So concrete lift and stabilization, pound 250 send.
From the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic Center.
This report is brought to you by LifeLock.
What?
Can you do that, make sure it works? Do what? Do what? Concrete lift. Can you do pound 250 right now? Oh, just do it really quickly.
What do I say? How does it work?
Approaching I-25. Off highway, some wrecks and cleanup stages. One at Wadsworth and First. That's affecting southbound Wadsworth at First. Look out for wreck on southbound Parker, Mississippi, and a crash westbound Colfax under I-225. The weather forecast: mixture of clouds and sun today. Mild though and nice. A high near 62. Right now, cloudy and 50.
Concrete.
Denver. With your traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner. 6:30.
Concrete lift.
Public Wi-Fi. That increases your chance of identity. One reason you need LifeLock. Free credit monitoring may make changes to your credit. LifeLock's U.S.-based team helps resolve identity theft issues. Sign up fast at LifeLock.com.
Wait, did you?
To save 10%.
So what? Tell me what happened.
You put it, and then it says, "Did you say? Is this who you want?" And then at that point, I said yes, and then it says, "Do you mind if we send you a one-time text or something?" So I hung up.
So why do we have? See, that's what I understand. Why do I have to say give that disclaimer if it does it on the phone?
That's an iHeart deal, man.
My wallet is always great. It's a Trump wallet.
Looks like Darren wants to be your warranty man.
Looks like what?
Darren, who's your warranty man for Walking Tub Company?
iHeartRadio is the easy-to-use app for music and radio.
Okay, good.
Free iHeartRadio app today.
It's coming together.
Obama's going to get $400,000 to speak at a health care.
You can tell she's depressed, but she doesn't seem.
I guess Obama forgot about what he said about.
She's pretty upset, man. It's just a bad deal.
Today at 1 on 630 KHOW.
You know, I don't have the time to address,
Whether or not the pharmacy was responsible, whether or not the offer is suitable, none of that is being discussed right now. Carolyn just is bringing up another really twist to this, and that is, should people have to sign a confidentiality agreement? And the answer is, if you want to settle and they require it, then you sign it. And if you refuse to sign it, see if they'll still do it. They may or may not. And then if they won't do it, then you have to find a law firm willing to go to court in a lawsuit. Many law firms won't take it if the only issue is confidentiality, Carolyn. They'll say, look, we may or may not get more money than this. Why go through all the trouble of fighting it in court if we can get the money right now and all you have to do is sign a confidentiality? Your argument would be, because I want to go on a crusade and I want to make sure this doesn't happen. I understand that, by the way, Carolyn. That's a laudable attitude. But however, if you decide to do that, law firms can also decide not to go along with you. So that's going to be the difficult thing, is getting the settlement money without signing the confidentiality.
That's just a bummer for them then, isn't it?
For who?
For Good Day Pharmacy. Because
why is it a bummer for them?
Because I'm not going to assign my right to discuss this.
And that is your right. That is your right. But you understand now they're not going to make a settlement.
Yeah, John explained that to me on Saturday.
So what do you plan on doing? Are you going to try to take it to court?
Oh, I really feel like I could handle going to court myself, and maybe do some protests and rallies and
listen.
bring it to the public attention.
You're channeling your energy and your grief into this, and I understand it. And Carolyn, I can't even imagine what it is to go through what you went through. I can't even imagine it. I can't. I can't even imagine it.
Well, my son dying was one thing, but literally what the system did to me after my son died destroyed my life.
You mean the system? In what way?
The way they handle medical malpractice in the state of Colorado.
No, anywhere, Carolyn. You mean how difficult?
Yeah, well, really, it's a systemic nationwide problem. It really is.
It's very, very, very difficult. It is. It is because, yeah, it's very, very difficult.
Well, there has to be a parent at some point in time that doesn't take the money and run.
Right.
Or things will never change.
That's one way of looking at it. I'm serious. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. That's a very good attitude if you truly can make a difference. Okay? And I don't know what I can do to help. I just don't know.
Oh, you know what? You guys have done so much to help me. You know, the moral support and listening to K-How and listening to the radio show, you know, almost every day and all times of night.
She's always watching on Facebook.
Carolyn, let me explain this to you. If you get an organization together or an event or something, we will help you letting people know about it, okay? That's what I can do. Steve, welcome. What's going on, Steve?
Hey.
What's going on, Steve?
Oh, hey, sorry, Tom.
What's happening?
Hey, I got a summons last night, 9 p.m. I knocked on my door, and it's a summons to answer for a medical debt.
Okay.
And it goes back to March of 2012.
Okay, 2012. They're within the statute of limitation.
Okay. So I guess when I listen to your show and I hear a lot about, well, there was probably a default judgment against you.
No, not necessarily. It doesn't even have to be in court. They have 6 years to get a judgment, and then after that it lasts anywhere from 6 to 20 years. So did they get a judgment, or is it still just a collection?
No, it's still a collection.
Okay.
No, so it's the summons is for May 15th.
Okay.
What I find interesting is that the letter itself is March 13th.
Well, it doesn't matter, but I have to ask you a quick question. Do you owe the money?
I don't know. I can't find any information
Okay, well then let's talk about that, but I'm out of time, so stick around. Suzanne, let's get him on tomorrow and discuss doing this. And then Darren, I would like to talk to you. Please leave a name and number. I'm Troubleshooter Tom Martino. Listen, don't forget referralist.com and go to Facebook /referralist. Save all your problems for me.
Are you embarrassed by your smile? Are you unable to eat the foods you love, afraid to laugh, afraid to live a normal life, even afraid to go out in public? Dr. Barrett's with Barrett's Dental here. I believe that you deserve a smile that you can be proud of so you can live your life the way you want, with the peace of mind that you can smile without embarrassment and that your mouth is healthy. At Barrett's Dental, we want to help you get your life back. I invite you to my office for a free consultation where you can find out for yourself if you are comfortable at Barrett's Dental. We offer total dental solutions, meaning we